doing that. There's a lot of dog toys, so like when I'm, moving around and...
Moving around?
What?
Phil.
Who walks around doing that?
I think my headphones went out, sorry.
Nurse?
Pop me down, Plowsy.
God almighty.
Well, I thought I hit the talk back.
Are you watching the Michael Dixon suicide?
I got to call Mark Hanna.
He's definitely rubbing on out now. You could tell.
He is. I can tell he is.
He didn't want the mouth breathing.
That's going to be an issue here. We can't have one of our producers back there doing that in his own little studio.
Awesome.
Doug, I'd like to tell the audience about Fistful of Bourbon. How do you do?
I'm fine, thank you.
Pull out your snifter.
Okay.
Let me pour you a fistful of bourbon. Utilizing knowledge learned from the longest-serving malt master in the history of whiskey, our master blender has married 5 straight bourbons into one beautiful bottle. Flavors of honey, creamy vanilla, and the delicate light spices of cinnamon and nutmeg will invade our mouth holes. It will always taste damn fine neat and make one hell of a cocktail. It ain't just a bourbon, it's a damn fistful. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York. Don't be a damn fool. Enjoy it responsibly.
So dramatic.
Yeah, no, that's a really good read.
Yeah.
I love a snifter.
Jackson saved the air check on that one.
I love snifters.
Why?
I don't know. I just love drinking like a scotch and water out of a snifter.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, Justin in Columbia has just struck. You know, Doug, he picks his spots.
Right.
He says, guys, so Iggy has made 2 pitches today about working for KG shortly after going on a rant about how he doesn't want to work hard and now wants to run for mayor after explaining how he doesn't understand how city government works and how it's too much work to fill out forms. Thanks. That's from Justin, and he's in Columbia.
Yeah, well, doing things with KG on a fill-in basis would be fun. It's not work. This isn't work. This job isn't work. It's fun.
So you're not about to take on anything else that would...
Being in politics would
work.
take some doing.
Yeah.
Take some doing.
But you were electable. You've got that.
Excuse me. All right.
No, I don't want to do any work. When
Never?
it comes to... No, not for that price. Not for $7,000 a year.
Well, 25 we were talking with.
I wasn't going to win the mayor's race.
We don't know that.
This guy is untouchable. I don't even remember his name.
We don't know that.
He's been around forever.
He's
Guys,
untouchable.
Whatever happened to that dude that flies the blimp and drops coupons for $5 off a Quiznos sub? Nathan from the East Side Alton. I was texting with Raby this morning, as a matter of fact. And Doug, I believe he's prepared an audio postcard today, is he not?
Has he?
Now, I know Mark Hanna's on hold, so we'll get to it. But is that correct, right? Am I right on it? Nurse? Does anybody see my nurse?
I don't know.
Jackson?
Yeah.
Are you talking to us or Hansy? Jackson, we hear you.
I know. Ravy made an audio postcard for us. We can play it tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so I don't got that opened up.
Well, are you high right now?
Yeah, I just was hoping that it was something that I didn't need to open myself because I don't have it. So, all right, we're good.
We can do it tomorrow.
All right, perfect.
We need the Plowhawk on the board today on Balloon Party. We need Bruce to call in, and I think we would have our perfect storm.
Yes.
We'll turn in our key cards at 11:15, and
Well, you didn't have time to smoke anything in the last break, did you?
no, I'm just saying it kind of comes and goes. I always like to come prepared.
I'd love to see the text line for that show.
I do take screenshots and post them on the fan page.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. In studio today with one of my favorites, like legit, one of my favorite people in the world. I know that some people, they don't believe me, but I mean it. Tim McKernan, the man, the myth, the legend. We're here at Hubbard Radio. I checked out the new studio today.
What do you think?
The wallpaper is fabulous.
How about that?
Man, that's like 10, 11 years in the making.
It really was, and it looks good, and it's been made possible. I'm not just saying this, just like you're saying. You're not just, if you weren't our title sponsor for all those lean years, we wouldn't have made it here, so we are always grateful, and our audience is grateful for your support of TMA.
One of the best investments, one of the best deals I've ever done. I've said that over a decade. I still mean that. Like, this is a show that I'm involved with. Heck, I spend too much time on the fan page some nights. You know, my wife will tell you that. But the good work that the show has done, the money that's been raised, the community, the culture, everything about it, I'm all in, man. I'm a TMA limiting for life, you know. I don't know what else to say about that, except if you need a mortgage, visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
I before E, except after C.
What is it, I before E except after Y?
Nutted it. Absolutely nutted it.
Treat others how you would like to be treated.
Treat me like a pirate and give me that booty.
A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Oh, hey.
Hey.
Salt and smoke.
Okay. This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Struggle with chairs. How's your chair over there, Iggy? He's gone. How's your chair, Tim? Gone. How's your chair there, Cloudy?
My chair's always good.
Okay. The chairs are looking good. No, the chairs are leaving the studio. Iggy, yes, we're on the air.
We hit the open
Iggy's
right when you guys...
moving the chairs out. The chairs are going...
I am not sure what's going on.
Back.
We got a situation.
We're playing musical chairs. Yes, we are.
We hit the open right when there was a chair dispute. I didn't know there were...
I call it a dispute.
Well...
I think Iggy was caught red-handed. Is I think the best way to describe it. Nurse?
Well,
right,
some of them have levers that allow you to raise and lower the chairs, and sometimes the lever works, and sometimes the lever doesn't work.
But the thing that, to me, at its core, is most unfortunate,
raise it up.
is I was in there talking to Jackson, and I came in, and Iggy was over in my, Doug, would you describe it, neck of the woods, naked away?
Vestibule.
Thank you. And I'm like, I don't know, whatever, didn't think anything of it. If anything, I think I apologize for bumping the door into him. And as it turns out, I witnessed a crime in which Iggy was taking the chair he didn't like and taking my chair and taking it for himself and then moving the chair he didn't like over to where I sit.
And then accusing me of stealing a chair.
Yeah, and then Doug and the Plowhawk don't say anything. Tough spot for you guys. Do you say what was going on?
I was looking at the...
And then I looked at it and I go, this chair, all the because I was just in here. I was in here while you two were out smoking and Doug and I were in here. And then I went in to talk to Jackson. And I had sat on the chair. And then when I got in here, the chair had now gone up to where producer Joe was sitting when he joined you on KMOV, where he was hovering above the...
Oh, yeah. He sat actually above the desk. He looked like I Dream of Jeannie.
Well, somebody took my chair.
And so... But isn't it unfortunate that your solution was to stick me with the bad chair?
No.
Just raise it. Can you raise it?
But I was here for...
You're not there yet. You're not there yet. It's right just to the right.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, you can't sit on it. You have to stand up.
So what happened in between yesterday and today?
I don't know. Oh, for heaven's sake.
I'll just sit down here like... whatever. Sassy Cassie down here.
Well, producer Joe is listening to the show this morning, Doug, as we get things underway. It says he has shown himself to be a thief in the past. Why is it a surprise when he does it again?
Well, I didn't steal anything. It's right there. Dumbass.
Okay.
It's basically the equivalent of just switching price tags.
All right.
I mean, can you even see me?
I didn't know it was a big problem until right now. My chair just kind of goes up and down.
I'm like crotch level of Plowsy.
I have the best chair out of all of us. I don't think it's even close. Well, I
have never, so help me, we've been here almost 6 months now, moved chairs around. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily from an honor standpoint, but just in general, I don't know how apparently the chairs have been switched around, if indeed they have. This is at the same level I feel like I'm at every day. But does that mean somebody has come into our studio and taken a good chair and taken it to their studio? I mean, Doug, do we have radio wars? I don't know.
We very possibly could. I don't know. All these production studios, is there not a chair in there that's better
They
than
are
one of these?
built more for a lower console than the one we have.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
don't
this.
say council.
But what else would you call? Oh, dais. I'm sorry.
Not table.
He looks so funny on the YouTube.
He's so
Like
short.
when Mickey Carroll would come
I
in and
could
go
sit
down
on
the...
his
I could
head.
sit on the floor and be closer.
Todd Reesing says, wow, what a dip S. Guys, this email of the day today, finna be lit. That's from Danny Tanner.
You gotta
Brian
tell
Henson
rough
is a
stuff.
show ombudsman, and he says, Tim, did you bow at Boots on your way out of the studio or from across the way or something? Because that's a green light in Kanglinese. That's from Brian Henson, Nathan from the east side of Alton. Everybody has a thought.
Yeah. Well, we've
Switching
had
price tags is stealing, you non-drop playing minivan driving dork. That's Nathan from the east side of Alton.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm saying in this scenario it was a swap, but still a steal, and it's very similar to, switching price tags. I did that once at a grill in college, and it was well worth it.
At a grill?
No, on a grill.
Oh, Negril 111.
Yeah, that was the domain name at the time. But no, there was a grill for like a couple $100, and I put it on the one that was for $30.
Oh, really?
And then switched that around. But that's the only time.
Don't you ever play musical chairs when you're a kid? It's fun.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, just playing a game.
That we would actually have to remove one of the chairs, and one of us would have to stand up. The
Well,
rest
I
of the-
did. I tried to put it in the hall, but...
And Tim wasn't even here to participate.
Yeah, it's interesting that I wasn't invited to the game.
Well, that's the point of the game. You do it when somebody's missing.
Oh, I didn't.
Is that the game?
Yeah.
I always thought there were 4 chairs and there were 5 tykes.
No,
And then when the music stopped, you have to run, and then 1 tyke would be left out. Doug, would that be considered bullying in 2022?
I think so. Okay. I just know we've gotten off to rough starts before on this show. Absolutely, we have. Never to this extent.
Oh, yeah, we've gotten a couple times where we weren't on air for like the first 10 minutes. So I think the chair issue is...
Okay.
We're fine.
I'm not comfortable here.
Okay.
Well, you want to try one more time raising the chairs?
It doesn't work.
Well, what happened to the one that did go up and down?
Yeah,
Is there one out in the hallway now?
They disappear. My headsets I had to go buy a new pair of headsets too.
Oh, no way. So we're starting to deal with like the stuff that we've dealt with before at other places?
Well, I don't know what goes on. I'm not here.
We still have the disco headsets over here.
Well, I bought a pair. I don't want those things. They blind everybody when I put them on.
Well,
It's the light and shines in everybody's eyes.
Is there an extra chair out in the hallway right now?
I don't care. This is fine. We looked.
What did the Greg Lansky tweet say?
We looked in the other studio. None of the handles in the other studios work either. You try to pump them up and down, they just stay right where they are.
Well, something's happened to one of our chairs.
I'll get by. I'll figure it out later.
Maybe we should all just sit lower.
No, I'm good. Well, I can't really sit lower. I have to reach up to the board.
Yeah. Okay.
Barely reach my coffee.
Oh, you're going to spill that for sure today.
We have had a spill streak going on. It is the Ryan Kelly Morning After. This is 105.7 HD2 FM, The Potted Plant. TMASTL.com, YouTube.com/TMASTL. You are welcome to get involved by emailing in Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. You're getting one of those Design Air Heating and Cooling camo caps. Adam Wainwright, a picture of him wearing it in the Cardinal dugout last week. That's the prize for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. A lot to work with here with the chair. Musical chairs?
Yeah. What it feels like.
Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And you can also call in Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone line 636-9004 TMA and the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox, which is already loaded. And you can text in on that. 314-881-TMA5. If you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com. They'll have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com, the official commercial fire alarm services and solutions provider of TMA. EDF, a Missouri and Illinois preferred full-service vendor for licensed and certified professional servicing, monitoring, and testing for fire alarm services and systems, fire suppression systems, fire alarm system monitoring services, tenant improvements in construction, security access, and monitoring services. EDF, Engineered Design Facilities. And what you do is you think about it.
Okay.
It's the Munganast, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Coming up at our appliance discounters, 8 o'clock hour, Michael Wellington will be in studio.
Oh, will he?
Yeah.
Where is he going to sit?
It's a great question. It's a great question.
Lord.
To stand.
It's a great question. When I do balloon party, I stand. I have no problem standing if that makes it easier. I don't really care because that's what I'm used to doing over there.
Yeah.
Over there, over there.
That's probably easier to stand for 1 hour rather than 3.
Yeah.
It'd be funny to tell your guest, hey, can you bring your own chair?
Yeah, BYOC.
Now, when I produced the afternoon show back in the day at 590 when Tim Van Gelder was doing the show.
TVG.
Yeah, he had to relax, and he had the engineers build him. You know when you go on remote, you have the headsets with the mic built in.
Oh, sure I do. Yeah.
He had them build one that fit into the console. You know how you plug your headset in?
Oh, Deus.
Yeah, you can plug it in. And he brought in a folding lawn chair, the kind you like lay flat out to catch sun.
Yeah.
And that's how he did the show. You couldn't see him when you walked by the studio.
He laid down?
On the lawn chair. And had the headsets on and just kind of laid in the lawn chair and did the show.
And that worked for him?
Yeah. You couldn't see him when you walked by the studio. He's basically on the floor, laying in a lawn chair.
Really? Because he had a bad back or something?
No, he just like relaxing.
Well, he was one of the all-time greats in this market.
Kind of like what I'm doing now. Just kind of.
Iggy and Tim Van Gelder, all-time greats?
I don't know.
Mount Rushmore?
Jesus.
I don't know that you should compare yourself to the great TVG.
I didn't. You did.
Well, you said kind of like me.
Laying
I said
back.
he's one of the greats, and you said kind of like me.
Not great. How I'm laying back like TVG did. That's what I meant.
He was like the first one not to wear a coat and tie on the air when he did the sports.
He wore a sweater, right?
Yeah, yeah. And which was very unusual at that time when he did it in the 70s.
He marched to the beat of his own drum.
Yeah, yeah, he was a great guy. Fantastic guy.
Great golfer, too.
And he will be missed.
I had him on the podcast. Iggy brought him in to have a guest on the podcast. I think it was the first time I met him. Really enjoyed it.
Oh,
he was a roommate with Joe Namath. How about that?
Yeah.
In New York.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a heck of a guy. Good baseball pitcher. Pitched for Iowa State. Big quarterback up there.
He has stories. Got it, he has stories.
Guys, PLTDing, and yes, I do use Manscaped to shave my grundle. Ladies has grundles, too. That's from Bill's wife.
Oh.
Plowhawk, does that surprise you? Bill's wife uses your product, Manscaped.
No, I mean, it's amazing how many people I come up with, comes up to me and tells me about Manscaped. Even, my wish-to-be stepdad, Cucky, he has one now.
You want Cucky to marry your mother?
I mean, yeah, but I feel bad for my dad.
Yeah, I would. He'd be the odd man out.
Yeah, I want a dad and a stepdad, but you're kind of getting off topic there, Doug. This is not in the copy, so we're going to kind of...
Doug, stay on topic. You always blow up the thought process on the show.
Yeah, Cucky told me
stepdad.
how great it was, his first experience with his Manscaped the other day, and it's very quick and easy. Doug, first thing you do...
What?
Either you're in the shower, you're hopping out, you're hopping out of the shower, or cowgirl. Get that lawnmower 4.0 ready, buzzing, you got the lights on, turn on the different attachments, and flat out get to shaving that tuft. Because that's what it does, and that's what it's made for. That lawnmower and for that top layer. No nicks, no cuts. The bottom layer, very sensitive. That's a very sensitive area. You don't want to play with that. You get the crop duster out. You put that exfoliating gel there and...
Don't shake that sound.
I like that.
What was that sound? No, what was happening there?
That's the blade hitting your thin hairs right underneath the sack. Which is a very sensitive
What was the sound again?
So good.
No nicks, no cuts. And I think no ingrown hairs. You don't have that discomfort that you come up with when you're shaving with just a normal razor. Comes with all of this. Boxers as well. All these deals. Go to manscaped.com. 20% off when you type in the promo code Doug, TMA. You get the Lawnmower 4.0. You can even have the nose trimmer. Iggy tells me it does wonders. We always talk about ear and nose hair issues.
Right.
This can alleviate those issues. Go to manscaped.com. Again, get your Lawnmower 4.0, crop shaver, all the accessories, the beautifully, the fresh boxers. Those feel fantastic. So get your 20% off TMA at the promo code.
All right.
Manscaped.com, Doug.
You can even go against the grain and never nick the main vein.
Again, I love that one.
The nose trimmer, you don't even know it's on.
No.
Yeah, I have another one that I used to use. It sounded like you're starting a chainsaw.
For a nose trimmer?
Yeah.
All right.
This one.
That's overkill.
This one you can't even hear. This one you can't even hear. You turn it on. Is it working?
Oh, you have the tongue of a hummingbird.
Who is
Now
that?
that can get the people
Can you imagine?
That was on your nipple?
Can you imagine that on your sensitive nerve endings?
Oh.
I thought it was the chair, but now I just noticed I'm not wearing a hat today, and that's these
I noticed that too. It's the first time I think I've ever seen you in the studio without a hat.
What's going on with that, Iggy?
The lights are in my eyes.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Here, have an STL Today
No,
hat.
I'm fine. I'm good.
Mark Milton sponsored hat.
There's a design.
He would love for you to wear it.
There's a design error hat.
And now I'm just lending it to you.
Homeland expert hat.
You're not going to wear it.
There's a lot of choices.
No, I'm fine.
There's hats
Oh
over
yeah,
here
the mesh.
that have never been
Yeah,
worn.
snapbacks.
No, I don't know why I just left the house and didn't put one on. Forgot.
So you don't really want a hat.
No. Well, I just noticed that these are in my eyes, and I said, why is that? Because I'm down here? No, because I don't have a hat on. And I can normally... It's amazing. You don't wear a hat and people think you're dressed up. I saw Michelle Smallman walk in. She goes, you're all dressed up today. Same thing I wear every day. I don't have a hat on. So people think
That's the difference.
So people think I'm dressed up. It's amazing. It was nice of her to say that, though.
Did you sign for her?
No, she posed for a picture.
She did.
Doug, 3-bet it.
Yeah. So there's that.
Okay. All right. Sunglasses would help you, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't wear those either.
Guys, quote unquote, I just noticed I wasn't wearing a hat. Holy effing hijacking. Jesus, that's from the 314.
Good Lord, these olds.
So every time I speak, it's a hijacking?
No.
So if I don't talk all day, then I haven't hijacked the show.
Correct. By definition.
All right, then I won't talk.
There
I
we go.
I can't ever hijack
It's
the show if I don't
pout
talk.
fish with the pout face.
If I don't,
Spreading the dreary wearies all over the
It's like,
place.
so every time somebody in the dais speaks, it's hijacking the show.
Oh, no.
There you go. You hijack by saying yes, no, maybe.
So.
Okay. There's the signal.
You'll know when you hijack.
Guys, I see Tom's face is posting in the YouTube chat.
Whose face?
Tom's.
Oh.
Where 145 friends of the feather are just hitting on each other left and right. Y'all listened to Pepper and Jeannie yesterday. It was essentially 20 minutes of Iggy airing out his grievances on Christine Brennan. He doesn't hold grudges, though.
Clausy had a chance to talk.
Yeah, she was one, I would say, the focal point of the
Christine
conversation.
Brennan.
Well, it was the LIV Golf topic. Brennan made her way in several times, but I don't think that was the whole episode. I hope not.
No, it wasn't. I just had a problem with her.
Thank you for downloading and listening to P&G, though.
P&G, Doug, Pepper and Jeannie.
Yeah, it's going well, I guess.
Download that app. Somehow, I don't know how we're doing it. So ESPN went from last to first.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Me and Iggy talked about that as...
Was that talked about on Pepper and Jeannie?
No,
No,
the coffee shop.
Talked about that this morning, yeah.
Break room.
I listened to a bit of WIL yesterday. They're giving away $1,000 for the winner.
101's giving away $1,000. An autographed Ryan O'Reilly jersey.
What?
Traeger grill. Yeah, I read the promo for the 101 ESPN app madness, and I'm going, oh.
This is why we lose. Badly. What are we giving away? You can have lunch with us or something?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Tom's face insists the Christine Brennan thing was the whole episode, and he's banting.
Oh, it wasn't.
I talked. I don't think I brought her up.
I bet
you don't know who she is.
How big a factor is she in the lives of St. Louisans?
Well, we were talking about LIV Golf, and I talked about her bringing up, I thought it was unfair, her bringing up the 9/11 families to Mickelson, like he doesn't care about them. And then she did it all for her own publicity, because every tweet you saw was, Christine Brennan asked the question, Christine Brennan asked the question. She's retweeting every time her name is mentioned. I said, you're doing it for your own publicity. And
Self-aggrandizement.
The question wasn't fair. And then I just brought up that there's 23 sponsors on the PGA Tour that deal with Saudi Arabia and bring in $43 billion a year. Do you ever talk about that? No, they don't want to bring those things up. So that's what we got into. Okay. And then how maybe the PGA Tour is going to have to change, and they just did. They have 8 tournaments next year, top 50, no cuts. So it wasn't about Christine Brennan. It was about LIV Golf.
So they're just going to bring in 50 golfers?
Top 50 in the FedEx
So that's
Cup.
what, another 100 that can't try to make it?
Well, I think, Tim, I think they have opposite field events for people that aren't in the top 50, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, if you want to keep the young, amateur, up-and-comer stars, how you do it is you eliminate them from the $25 million prize pool for the 3 events.
Right.
I do not understand that whatsoever. It'll be good to watch. I just don't know if that's going to, help your young and coming stars not leave the PGA when they're, basically excused from the biggest payouts.
Yeah. There'll be some who can't get it done in the early years and maybe give up.
Yeah.
Well, I did say yesterday, I said this will be the least downloaded podcast we do, because we talk golf.
We got Tom's face.
Yeah, you got Tom's face listening.
That was a topic we wanted to deal with. I'd be happy with every one of them. We're doing them every day. There's going to be some you don't want to listen to.
I did yesterday. I didn't know it. I looked at the clock, and that was the only way I could tell. How long do we go, Jackson?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Oh, my God.
On the start of essentially what is TMA, but at the time was called the Morning Grind, to the moment it all finally came to an end when they were all gone, starting with producer Joe getting whacked in September. And then, Joe, I guess if you're listening, I want to clarify because I thought he got fired for telling the general manager to F off.
Yeah.
Doug, would that be considered insubordination?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. But then Joe says that's not the case. I don't know, that there was something else to it. And then Martin quitting, the cat getting whacked, and then 6 months later, I leave, and then we go and form TMA at 1380 ESPN after I had to sit out 3 months of a non-compete. So that is the whole story. So if you want to know the history of the show, that's the deep dive for episode 499. I don't know what the deep dive will be for episode 500. If you have a request, email me, tmckernan@insidestl.com. I was surprised I went 2.5 hours.
That's a lot of talking.
Holy crap. And that's
I don't
after
talk
doing
2.5
4 hours
hours
of radio.
In a month, I don't talk 2.5 hours.
But if I never write a book, and if Iggy never writes a book, but I guess Iggy wasn't a part of that part of the show, now that is all but documented, although I didn't go into some of the, more titillating elements of the general manager buying employees lap dances so he could watch them receive lap dances.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot. You could have went 4.5 hours.
There's more, but I just want to kind of just stick to essentially the timeline. And I'm sure if, Martin and Prod Joe and the cat, they'd include some stories that I had forgotten. I was just doing it from memory. I sat down with Jackson. I go, all right, I'm just going to go from memory. I don't know. I'll just go chronologically how this all went down. But yes, I'm sure there were some other weird things that went on.
Now, Casey does a thing called Stories from the Window. Because back in
Stories from the Window.
Back in the day.
Billy Joel came to the window.
Yeah, in the Crestwood studio back in the days, they had a window. You go pick up tickets and things. And they have another one coming up, I think in July. We could do one. TMA from the window, or TMA from the
Doug, who has come to our window?
Nobody can get in.
Dan
here.
McLaughlin occasionally stands out there.
Oh, wow.
TMA from the Cuck studio.
Mike Wellington will be here in 40 minutes.
We had a Cuck studio built at the old station. No one ever stopped by. Not one person.
Yeah,
it would have been TMA above the sex shop, right?
Yep.
We could have all the old time people on the show who've been on part of the show just come in and tell stories. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't have many, but
there it is, Doug.
All right. You want people who've been on the show in the past to come in and tell stories? Is that what you said?
Non-gay, producer Joe, Martin.
Oh, people who worked
Kat,
on the show.
All the interns.
Evil David Letterman, the guy who pissed in the grate.
Anybody who's ever had anything to do with the show.
Donnie Most. Sack.
Yeah.
Weezer.
Just sit up there and tell
Nickel.
stories.
Nickel was the original. Were you around for Nickel? I feel like for the TMA trivia night,
barely.
People, if you were to say who are the 4 original members of the show, people would probably go with me, Martin, the cat, and producer Joe. Or if they're like, oh no, it wasn't producer Joe, it was Stedman. But actually, producer Joe didn't leave Atlanta for a couple of weeks, and the original board operator was in Stedman was a guy named Nickel.
I remember.
And he used to scream at us.
Larry Nickel?
No. I think his name was Mike.
Why would he scream at you?
I don't know. If Jay's listening, he could probably do his own stories from above the sex shop on Nickel. Different kind of dynamic, where the board operator wasn't necessarily a part of the show, like the Plowhawk is, and like board operators on TMA have been for years. He was a banny rooster at times, and he would scream.
About what?
I don't know. I didn't know any better because it was kind of like the beginning of my career, and I'm just like, wow, I guess this is what goes on here. It's kind of like my first flight when the Blues were playing the Sharks in the 2000 playoffs, and there were fights on the plane, and I'm going, God, I guess this is how it works here.
Who was getting in fights?
Well, there was a gentleman who had enjoyed too many libations.
Yeah.
He was not a member of the organization.
Right.
And I believe Mark Sauer turned, and I was in the first row of whatever you consider coach, I guess, non-first class, sitting next to Naum. Naum is here.
Let's go into locker room.
So for 4 hours, Naum's breeze, which could have used a refresher, was as I looked outside, because I had never been to California, and I'm just enamored by everything that I'm seeing and enjoying it. Plus, I can't believe I'm on the flight with the Blues. I was excited. Malcolm Briggs was on the flight, much less Chris Pronger and Al McInnes. And the gentleman behind me, who will remain nameless, nobody would know who it was anyway, unless you were on the flight, had enjoyed a little too many libations, I think, over the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe Mark Sauer turned and said, if you don't shut the F up, we're going to land this plane in a field, and I'm going to throw you off.
So it wasn't a chartered flight?
I mean, it was, but it wasn't like a, I don't know how to describe it. It was, the only people on it were Blues and Blues Media.
Oh, so this
we're
guy
going
was
out to
part
San
of,
Jose.
This guy was part of the media.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was just a passenger.
And if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves, I know if I were on Balloon Party right now, I could get an answer from 300 people. But if I'm not mistaken, Pavel Demitra wasn't playing or wasn't playing well or something like that. And this gentleman was screaming to the players in the back of the plane. I'm sure they loved it. Pavel, grow up and play. And that, I think, is the moment when Mark Sauer turned around and said, if you don't shut up, we're going to land this plane in a field, and I'm going to throw your ass out of it. And it's my first flight. I was in Little Rock 3 weeks earlier, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be going to California, even with Naum's breath. And I thought to myself, God, I guess this is what they do on these planes, know?
They scrap. It's hockey. They throw down.
I bet it was Gus Kyle.
I wouldn't tell you, even if you named it.
I know who it was.
You're aware of it? Mm-hmm. I think I came back and I told you guys. Yeah. And you're like, no, that doesn't happen all the time. My God, this is a whole thing.
No, in fact, it's probably never happened before.
And it was, that's what I got for my first flight.
Yeah.
Yep. Stories from above the sex
So
shop.
did he get booted, that guy? Was that the end of the line for him?
I don't remember.
Geez, you would think so.
I just remember sitting on that flight. And
how drunk do you have to be to not really be part of the team and stand up and start screaming at the players?
You got to ask the player questions like the next night.
It wasn't an on-air person.
Oh, gotcha.
It wasn't an on-air person. Okay. No one would know. It doesn't. I mean, it's been 22 years at this point, but yeah, that's what I remember about it. And I remember thinking to myself, I guess this is the way things work. Similar when Nickel, because it was like my first, it was early part of my career. And you just have a board op screaming at people, and you're going, I guess this is how it works.
Yeah, this is radio.
If Jackson didn't know any better, the only experience he had up until Hubbard was, hot dog stands. So
would it be weird if Jackson were to come in here and just really scream at us in the commercial breaks? Just really let us have it?
Take a break, idiots. Plowsy, play some drops. Damn it.
I think this show needs
That's
Jackson
not
to come
Jackson.
in here.
It probably does.
Yeah, that's the first I heard of any stuff on Blues flights or Blues media. I've heard, obviously.
Well, there's a statute of limitations, I think. If it happened last week, there's no way in the world I would be telling the story. But
I've been doing this long enough that I would hear something that happened.
It's absolutely
not that, but I mean just Blues media in general. They seem to be very
because
docile.
most media guys feel we feel. I haven't been on a team flight in years, but you're like, oh God, we don't belong here. Remember, we flew with the Rams, I think, at times.
Yeah.
Right?
And if they're paying the way, if they're paying the freight, I mean, who are you to complain about anything? They're feeding you. You're eating just like the players and everything.
Oh,
you have a zero cost transportation to these games to cover the team. You're going to complain about something?
I wouldn't.
No, most don't.
Would. And
most people sit there very polite.
Yes, exactly, because you're grateful and you're around. Especially on Rams flights. My God, you knew you were around Hall of Famers. But on the Blues flights, you had Pronger and McInnes. Dimitra was on that team. Perhaps the biggest presence of all, Doug, was Roman Turek, and you didn't know what he was up to because he wasn't paying attention.
No, he didn't know where to sit.
Facing the other way.
Yeah, I'm not sure that happens anywhere anymore where the media travels with the teams.
I
know the Post-Dispatch would never do that because they thought they were
compromising.
Yeah.
I get that. I have to say, I do get that.
Yeah. But for the rest of the media that got a chance and were offered a seat on the plane and could save, who knows how much money for two people at least.
And you're flying nonstop into San Jose. Yeah. San Jose. I mean, at the time, San Jose is bigger now, but at the time, going into San Jose, I mean, if we were doing that on our own, it would have been St. Louis to Dallas to maybe San Francisco to driving, whatever that is, 90 minutes to San Jose.
Think how much time all those baseball beat writers could save if they got right on the team plane and flew directly into the next city instead of having to go to the airport and sitting around getting through, security and then sitting there an hour and a half and then the flight's canceled. And
Oh, yeah. Oof.
And if it's a Midwestern city like Milwaukee, Chicago, doesn't the Post make Gould drive?
I have no idea.
I think he drives to most of
Probably.
those.
You can almost drive in the time you can fly to those
Yeah,
places.
that'd be, God, drive 5.5, 6 hours.
I got to tell you, though, now that I've done it, and the Jupiter Drive being, that's really pushing the limits. But with podcasts and Audible, it's a different experience. And also, if you have young children, it's like 10, 12, 20 hours, whatever, of solitude and silence, just listening to the content you want. I got to tell you, didn't mind it that much. And now doing Jupiter to St. Louis in one day is not
that's
something,
a little much.
but that was at the beginning of the pandemic, and didn't know what the hell was going on.
But Chicago to like Milwaukee, like if you're going to Milwaukee down to Chicago and then back to St. Louis, isn't brutal at all.
What is that? I've never been to Milwaukee. 6 hours, 7 hours?
Well, it'd be about 5.5, 6 to Chicago, and then probably another hour and a half north. I'd say.
Chicago to Milwaukee is like an hour.
Yeah, I could say that's really close.
Yeah. So.
But I'm saying you still have to drive from Chicago to Milwaukee and then, or St. Louis to Chicago, and then you gotta drive all the way home.
That's an easy drive.
I mean, I like driving because I have a great car now. Muggin' ass my Corolla. I love that.
StLouisAcura.com, AltonToyota.com. Look at that weave. What a weave.
Yeah, nicely
Jamie
done.
Burkhardt, tell the people more about it.
My Corolla in the winter was a godsend. I didn't have to worry about getting up in the morning and, is my car going to start? Please turn over. Tim, I can't come in today. My car won't start. Not my Corolla. Just push a button. And Doug, you have the same thing with the hybrid. You don't know it started. You have to put the gas in. Is this thing working?
Yeah, it makes no sound.
Yeah. Getting like 40, 45 miles a gallon. Drives like a gem. Love it. So
there it is. You can get StLouisAcura.com or AltonToyota.com and work with Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganast, all the great people at Munganast, the official automotive provider of TMA. And what you need to do is think about it, just like Jackson thinks about his Mugsies. Think about it.
I'm wearing my Mugsies right now.
I bet they feel real nice in there,
they're
boy.
so nice. It was hot out on Friday night, still warm out, and
You still were at Molly's.
yeah, McGurk's, and looked great. People were like, "Damn, nice pants, man." I was like, "Yeah," and they're comfortable, and it's warm out, but I'm not sweating because I'm wearing my Mugsy shorts. They're so comfortable. We all got a pair of them. I know that we all love them because they're so
Have shave strokes in
comfortable.
them.
Yeah, they're great to wear on the golf course, or from the clubhouse to the couch, Tim. You can wear them in both situations.
can.
They're great. So you head to Mugsy.com. You can pick up a pair of chinos, jeans, shorts. They got swim trunks on there, and not with that netting that kind of gets mashed up into your ball bag. They got that form-fitting liner that's real nice and comfortable, and above all, stylish. So you head to MugsyJeans.com. Use promo code TMA for 10% off your entire order. Free your balls once and for all with Mugsy. Head to Mugsy.com. Use promo code TMA for 10% off your entire order. Wear the most comfortable pants we've all ever worn with Mugsy.
There it is, Mugsy.
All right.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Great trousers.
New T-shirt at InsideSTL or TMASTLshop.com, and that is You Having a Treat Bro T-shirt, and it's a lovely little tribute to the Plowhawks treats. What do you have today?
Man, I had a late start today. I'll be honest with you boys. Woke up about 20 minutes later than what I wanted to.
What happened? Do you set an alarm or you just automatically wake up?
Set multiple alarms. I must have just been in it. You know how sometimes where you don't even remember turning off your alarm?
Yeah.
So only treat I had was at a yogurt this morning, and gonna have a Lunchable when Wellington's here. So lack of snack is a huge issue for me this morning.
No
But
time for a donut?
I had to come straight here.
Oh,
so,
brother.
Any more of those cookies in the back?
I don't know. I might have to snag them, but doing great. I'll treat it up extra tomorrow.
Nice.
So, yeah. Lunchable's good. It's a good snack.
I'd hate to see you lose any weight between now and tomorrow.
I think I'll be fine, bud.
All right.
I appreciate you worrying, though.
Okay. Some of those donuts, I'm sure you're packing on some pounds, right?
Doubtful, but they are delicious.
You do have a snack shop back there.
Yeah. I'm not a Pop-Tart guy.
Is that right? That kind of surprises me.
Right? And I'm surprised myself. I would have to do a toaster style with it. I would have to heat it up for about
Toaster
2 or 3.
They got a toaster back there.
Yeah, that may be the move.
Put it on the bagel setting. You're good to go.
Yeah.
You ever weigh yourself to see what it is you could possibly eat to gain half a pound or two?
I don't have it.
Nothing matters.
I
does
haven't
it?
weighed myself since like my physical in high school. So
I'd be curious what I would guess. Doug, I weigh myself every day because, again, I'm insane.
Yeah.
157.2 this morning. I would guess you're probably like 3 to 4 inches taller than me, but certainly I'm a 32 waist. What are you, like a 28?
29, 30.
29.
Yeah.
All right.
29 or 30.
God, if I
like
had to go within, Doug, if you would give me a 2 pounds either way, 2
that's
pound carrot
tough,
cake,
man.
I would say the Plowhawk's 132. That's where I think he is.
I would do the 128 to give you that 130.
Yeah.
Because I think 128 is a perfect guess. I think I'm right around there.
You have to weigh more than 128 pounds.
I doubt it. I mean, I would be shocked
Really?
if I did. Yeah. I mean, I eat a ton. It's nothing against
And there's
what I'm
nothing
doing.
you eat that makes you gain weight.
No, I mean, had a whole quesadilla, some fries, and some queso cheese last night.
Where'd you get it from, bro?
Big bowl of honeycomb. We do have a place we like for value and location. It's El Tapatia.
El Tapatia, friend of the show.
They have a similar one there on Manchester near the other station. I think it's right by maybe the charcoal house. It's called El Indio or El India.
Yeah,
they're the same. I mean, it's the same color.
I know
menu,
exactly what
the
you're
same-
talking
The guy like napping on the cactus, right?
Yes, same signage, just named different, but El Tapatia right there off of Hampton and Filer. So did that. It was really good.
Oh, was it?
Picked that up. Yeah, so I eat a ton. Like I eat way too much. Like
Clearly not.
I
mean, if you can get away with it, you might as well eat
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't complain. Certainly like a little bit more tone or definition, but I think.
What's it matter? You got that hog.
Right, that is true. Thank you.
Oh.
And I can always get, my diet changed later on. I mean, I eat relatively healthy outside of the show, to be honest. Eat a lot of veggies. I like to snack on peppers dipped in ranch and.
You have a lot of
eat
ice cream,
fruit.
boy.
We did have snow cones last night as well.
Well, that won't pack it on like an ice cream cone.
We do clementines every now and then.
Do
We
you,
Ted
by the way?
Drews
Boy,
every
that
now
is
and
good, man. That what used to be the custard station right across from Billy G's, Doug.
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Took Anna Marie, Jameson, Naden up there, and it is good. Ice
Yeah, it's
cream.
really good.
It's great.
Custard or whatever that is.
Yeah, the front porch mint chip, which was phenomenal. But I like the boozy ones too. The bourbon with the the salted caramel one. There's
Oh, approved. Approved.
Yeah, it doesn't even taste like there's
Approved.
booze in there.
Yeah, it's
Approved.
Super fun.
Approved.
Yeah, love it.
Darren weighs more than 132 pounds. Y'all are forgetting his girthy hog worth at least 4 pounds. That's from Danny Tanner.
Dude, if it's 4 pounds, we have a
4 pounds.
major health issue on our hands.
Yeah, if you get penis reduction, you're probably down to about $1.18.
Yeah, I'd be under the BMI.
So 128 was the weight, you think?
that'd be
I'm
my-
putting,
if I
I'm
could
putting
guess.
132. That's where I am.
We could do it at the dash. Whenever the dash happens, I'll weigh myself beforehand.
At
You know,
the
believe
dash,
it,
the 1 mile dash.
I believe that has been set. That'll be
Cool.
announced at a later date. But Jesse Kioski, we were talking about it in the meeting on Monday. Yeah.
You
Is it a
running
dash
all
or a
to get-
mile?
Running it all to
Mile.
get in shape for that?
I ran some poop bags to the dumpster
There you go.
last
Doesn't
night.
count. Doesn't count.
You better train, boy.
I don't know.
Piss it off.
I guarantee you, I am guaranteeing for a fact I am going to get under 8 minutes.
For a mile?
100%, yes.
There's no way.
God, I mean,
100%.
I mean, I would bet everything I have, but then his confidence throws me off.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be in pain, and I think that it's all. I think it's the mental grind that last lap and a half. I realize that a side stitch could come. My lungs are going to be,
Side stitch.
pumping. But
Pump it.
I feel like if I can just fight through the initial pain, bust out that 8 minutes, heal myself later, an ice bath or whatever. I think I'm going to push it. Because I want to prove people that I'm still athletic.
Without any prior working out or anything.
Nothing, no. I'll stretch a little bit.
How many
obviously.
darts you smoke a day, boy?
I don't know. I think it's about probably the same as it always been. About 14, 15 was about the trend.
You can't be serious.
A day, so that's under a pack. So, and I think for me, I'm very limber, and I don't have a lot of weight to carry. So, I feel like that helps out a ton.
Well,
I'm
it does,
very,
but you still got to be
very
somewhat in
light on my
shape.
feet.
I mean, the legs and everything, you got to have the musculature in your legs to hold up for a mile.
I realize you want to pace yourself to make that last lap. You go all out. But I think I'm going to do the opposite approach and go really hard in the paint the first 2 laps to give myself a little cushion.
Oh. Okay.
And during that, every lap, does somebody yelling out the time, or do I not want that?
You'll know.
Oh, you'll know.
I'm sure someone will be there with a stopwatch,
Yeah,
and every time you come around, they'll tell you how much time you got left, I would think.
No, this is exciting. I want to get under there like 7:56, show everybody what's up.
Okay.
Now, how that will happen?
And what was the bet? What was the bet?
It's no bet. I think it's just.
He just said he could run
For
a sub
pride.
8 mile.
Yeah. So I think for pride's sake, I think is really what the trophy is.
Okay.
I think most runners who run for a living, I think if they do a sub 4-minute mile, that's good.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Oh, yeah, that's Olympic caliber stuff.
Yeah, that's
So Plow's
gold
doing
medal.
half of that.
Yeah, I think the real runners in high school and college do about the 6 minute, 6.5. I think is.
Oh,
if they're just
faster
running,
than- no, they're
Is it
faster
under
than
that?
that.
well,
Is
if
it
they're
in the
running
fives?
more than 1 mile, then that would be a good pace. But if they're running 1 mile, they'll go faster.
No.
in the 5s.
Oh, yeah. A lot faster than that.
It'd be funny, like on dog tracks where they have the bunny on the,
What would get you motivated?
a dildo.
Oh. I did the half
I think that
mile.
would be really funny to put one of those on those rinks and just go around.
Just a big bag of chronic going around and just.
I did the half mile as a 9th grader.
800,
They used to call it the 880 back then. Now it's an 800. And I did my best time was 2:06.
That's half a mile?
That was half a mile.
Jeez.
That's baller.
But that's
flying.
at a half mile, you're going pretty good the whole way.
You're sprinting a good amount of it.
Almost, yeah. Certainly sprinting the last half of the second lap. And it was just exhausting. You fell down just ready to die. It was just horrible.
I think for aerodynamic purposes, obviously going to shave with the Manscaped, but I might put on the Manscaped undies. They're just long enough to get away with like biker shorts. So I think I might do that.
Well, you
I
want
need-
something to hold you in place there.
Oh, and they got the ball cover, man. Yeah, it's going to be legit.
I think you just need a wife beater and some Speedos.
Oh.
You imagine the scene.
Well, you need something down there to hold things in place, or you're going to really be miserable.
I'm excited.
Producer Joe is still listening to the show, and he's asking, is he guaranteeing this? It sounds like Joe wants some action.
I'm guaranteeing under 8 minutes. Now, I'm not going
Joe's
to...
now going to submit action, I think.
I mean, if people want to bet on the side amongst themselves...
Would you like to wager with producer Joe?
I don't really want to, no.
Whoever's going to take that action is going to be overexposed on one side.
No, but I wouldn't mind side action for the patrons, to make it a little bit more exciting for them.
But who's going to take you
That's
going
what
under?
I'm
That's
saying.
the issue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, I guess if it has to be like a Biff bet where he's like putting minus 500 on the Avalanche against the Canadiens.
I don't know what the number would be under 8 minutes. Is it...
This is a money-making opportunity for you, Plowsy. If you run on your own and you can guarantee yourself that you know for sure you can do it, then start taking the bets.
But I don't want to cheat it by going out and running a mile tomorrow to see my time because, I don't know, I think the excitement of, what the possibility could be with the time, I'd like to be excited about it rather than, just another day at the office type situation.
All right. This is like the man off the street has been called down on the track to see what he can do.
Guys, Mrs. Doug's Glue Guzzler is as small as they come, and Plowboy is only 10 pounds heavier. Thanks. That's from Doug's Glue Guzzler.
Well, again, we don't know the exact weight, but if I had to guess, I would guess 128 would be my... If you have a 2-pound buffer, either way, I think that's where I'd go.
I would guess like 135-ish.
It could be. Again, I haven't hopped on a scale in 12, 15 years.
We'll weigh you at the trivia night. Because we're going to have a scale there because St. Gabe's has a poundage limit on the gym floor. So when you come in, you'll be
Seriously?
weighed, and then when you leave, you have to be weighed because you may have to leave earlier with all that food.
Wait a minute. They
I
have
like
a
that.
poundage limit on the basketball court?
Yeah, inside the gymnasium.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not serious.
Yeah, Doug, why would you think he's serious?
Well, I don't know. So we're not going to have a scale there.
Well, we could.
I'll bring a scale.
I would be interested to see some of the people, what they weigh before, and then after they load up on pizza and salt and smoke and desserts and beers, what they weigh on their way out.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Who can gain the most weight while they're there? That's
That
the
would
contest.
be, that would
Should there be a
actually-
prize?
That would be
Prize.
fun.
Let them leave with a couple of pizzas.
Yes, a year's supply at
You've
Jenny
earned
Craig.
it,
Right.
sir.
It would be interesting.
Yeah, it
Comes
would
in
be-
at
it'd be
230
kinda
and leaves
nice.
at 260.
Who can gain the most weight while we're here?
I actually really love that idea.
I do too.
I think we need to play a game of pickup afterwards, too.
Oh,
Clear it out.
Can you imagine, Jackson, the honor of playing on the parquet floor at
I
St.
need
Gabriel's?
to. I need to check that off my list. I play at all the prestigious gyms in St. Louis except St. Gabe's.
That should have been our At Madness prize.
Play at
Wow.
TMA at St. Gabe's.
Yeah, that would have got him.
one-on-one.
Way better than the $1,000.
Don't do a concert with me, doesn't do it.
That's right. If you want to go to a concert with Iggy, download the TMA app and make sure you're logged in, and we will draw from the from I don't know where Jessie draws from.
I think she puts it on an Excel spreadsheet.
Is that right?
No.
She's she's telling me the story, contacting the guy who won, I guess, last week, the dinner.
Yep.
And this guy is on the fan page.
Yep.
And he said, hold on, I need a minute. And she's like, oh, God, is he going to start weeping?
Checking his schedule.
But he was walking outside the office.
That's so funny. You thought he was emotional.
She told me the story yesterday. So, yes.
I think what I'll do, we had our meeting Monday, and I talked to Tommy, because I've never met Lizzie Hale. Big Lizzie Hale fan.
Doug, have you ever met Lizzie Hale? Was she ever on the set at Sports Sunday hovering above?
I'm sorry, I wouldn't know her if she walked in the studio.
Big fan. And asked Tommy any chance I can get back and say hi. He goes, yeah. He says, we'll have to see, because I think a couple members of the band got COVID during their tour and had to stop the tour for a week. So they were kind of leery about that, but maybe as we get into the end of September, things they'll kind of don't worry about it. So I'll tell the listener, if I get backstage, I'll bring you with me. I said I'm not bringing the listener back there.
I think it would be funnier if you didn't bring them, like you left them at their seat by themselves for like an hour.
Just to remind them that you're a little person. You're a small person.
I'll put it this way. If I can get 2 back there, I'll bring you back. If not, but I will try.
If not, they just get to go and not you.
No, that ain't happening. No. They stay there in their seat.
What?
Or they can leave early. I don't care what they do.
Well, now, that's not being very hospitable.
Really selfless act there by Iggy.
Yeah.
I've already said if I can get 2, I'll bring you back.
Yeah, but if you can get 1, they get to go and you don't go because they're the prize winner.
No, they're lucky they get to go with me. That should be enough. You don't need to meet Lizzie Hale, too.
Sakes. Oh, for heaven's sakes.
But I'm giving you an extra. If I said I wasn't going to bring anybody back there. But if I get 2, I can bring a guest back there. I will bring you back with me.
But if you get 1, they should go.
No.
Yep. Wouldn't that be nicer?
I still don't know if Lauren's going.
Wouldn't that be a nicer way?
Promo says she's going. She says she's not.
This prize is just getting better. You may be by yourself.
Consider yourself lucky.
Just learn friends with Lizzie Hale.
Yeah, there. She said.
Can you imagining if you got a picture with Lauren and Lizzie Hale?
Oh.
Yeah. I saw her in the office a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about the new lineup. And she said, I think you should interview Lizzie Hale. Okay.
Of course.
We almost need to.
No one would do it better.
Lauren brought that up. I didn't. Lauren said, I think you should interview Lizzie Hale.
Awesome.
Lauren, if you're listening, call in and verify that. I'm not lying.
She won't be listening. She won't.
No way
won't
she's
be.
listening
No.
at all. Right?
No.
You're right. But the promo says, go to Point Fest with Iggy and Lauren, and then in the middle of the promo, she says, I'm not going.
She's not going. So it's up to you to
Do we
show
have
the
that promo?
winner of the prize a good time.
By leaving.
No, I'll
backstage.
sit there with you.
Wait, that's the prize. That's the minimum.
Yeah, I didn't say I'll talk to you, but I'll sit there with you.
You're not going to talk to the person.
I'll be my congenial self. I'm always nice to people. It'll be a fun time.
Until it's time to go backstage.
Yeah. Do we have the promo?
Doug, do we have the promo?
I don't have
The Marty
it with
Link
me.
promo for the
Yeah,
giveaway?
we played it yesterday on the show.
Do you have it handy? I still want to try to figure out what Lauren is saying, if she's going or not going.
She says she's not going.
But Marty, the promo...
I feel like it's pretty clear, actually.
But doesn't the promo say when...
Yeah, it's an edit. She edited it and then threw that in there.
Oh, she edited it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's how emphatic she was about not going.
She shoved that right in the promo before it went out on
I don't know if they were playing a game or not, but now that Lauren took it and edited it herself, I guess that's a no.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong no.
When someone takes a promo that's already done and then throws in, I'm not going.
That's a
Do
no.
we have that, Plowhawk?
I mean, yeah, I can get it. I just didn't know if you wanted to hear it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's news to me that she edited herself.
Yeah,
I
she
thought
did
they were having
herself.
fun with it, but if she took it herself and said, hell with this, I guess we know what the answer
Michelob
is.
Ultra sponsor the Fan Page Club Championship and our studios, and if you're interested in having one, why don't you? Because it's only 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Take a listen. Here you go.
So the stupid corporate contest is still going on. App madness. And we're still not in the lead against the other big-time FM stations. Let's see, the Point's in first, and even Casey and that weird Arch station is ahead of us. Jesus. So we're upping the stakes. Get the TMA app, sign up for an account, log into that account, and you'll get a keyword, which you can use to enter to win the Week 3 prize. Tickets to Point Fest? Sit with Iggy and learn at the rescheduled Point Fest September 24th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Nope, I'm not doing it. I work at Keishi. I'm helping Keishi win App Madness. I do not wish to go to Point Fest with any of you or with Iggy, and I'm appalled that I'm even in this promo right now. So, no, I will not be sitting with you and Iggy at Point Fest. Good luck with your App Madness, jerks.
Featuring Papa Roach.
I can't tell whether this is going or not.
It sounds like a meeting step.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's open to interpretation.
Yeah, she left the door wide open.
Well, she called us jerks. Put it this way: if most of the tickets that the staff gets are like together, it's not like you have section 110 and they have section 105. It's usually all together. So I think I can probably introduce you to Learn. She won't be sitting next to you, but I can probably.
I get it. She didn't want much to do with it all.
Get you to say hi to her.
It depends on how you interpreted that.
Well, I interpreted that she has no intention of being part of this prize.
Like I hear people.
Yeah, someone's about to get sniped. Sounds like.
Yes, I don't think she will. And I guess it's just me and the winner. I mean, if we get 4 tickets, I could find a date, and he could bring a girlfriend or a wife. Or
Here we go. And now we go back to the patio.
If she wins,
Oh, now we're going to start swinging.
she can bring her husband or boyfriend or girlfriend, either way.
Yeah.
But it's just me and a dude. God.
You're not going to be rude to this person,
Hey,
are you?
I think this Papa
You were
Roach.
so excited about this prize, and now that Learn's WD'd from the field.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you imagine him getting ready for this at night?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, if the delta on this is now Iggy and some guy, possibly who he has blocked from the fan page, sitting there and watching Point Fest together, or it was going to be Iggy and Learn and Lizzie Hale hanging out. I mean, Doug, it went from that to this.
Right.
And Tim,
Give her
her
a prize.
husband. 'Cause I made sure, I said, if Learn's doing it, make sure there's a ticket for Tim. Tim goes to most concerts with her. But now she's not going at all. She'll probably go with Tim, but not us.
Yeah, that's kind of sounded like
So it'll
what
be
it was.
me and, I don't know, Danville douchebag or whatever.
Oh.
Thing like that.
Could be the West County turkey baster.
So just to be clear, if I create an app account to help you guys with App Madness, I get to watch Papa Roach with the Pink Panther who pumped his first 2 tee shots into the drink at the member guest. What an honor. Doug, that's from Little Tommy Dribbin.
We're not winning either, are we? We're not in first place.
No, doesn't look good.
No.
Well, there's one station that was in last and is now in first, so there's a possibility.
So you sound like you're calling foul on that.
No, I don't know how they went from last to first. You saw the promo that we're getting beat by Keishi, the Arch, and the Point, which means we were ahead of the other 2, and one was in last place, and now they're leading somehow. Don't know how the whole thing works.
Oh, man.
Well, if we don't get last, I think we win. Just an internal win for us.
Right. It won't feel very good, though.
And we have a chance this week because the Rizzuto show's off until Thursday.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, they're off for 3 days. They're not talking about it. We have a chance to.
What do they do when they're off? Anybody know, nurse?
Best ofs.
Doug,
what was that noise? Who was that?
It's my nurse.
Somebody walking by Jackson's studio?
That's probably Wellington.
friends. Yeah, it was Wellington.
Oh, all right.
I think they just play rewinds. They played their Tim Meadow interview the other day.
So he changed his name?
Tim Meadow?
Breasts.
Tim Meadows?
Mm-hmm.
Tony Bank.
Tony Bank. Tom Hank.
Chase Daniels.
Nice.
Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Plowhawk, did you see that the over-under was set by CBS Sports for Missouri having 5 wins?
Is that really true?
5 wins?
Jackson sent it over for the questions for Balloon Party.
The Caesar Sportsbook had that.
Even for me, I think they could get to 500.
Well, you have Louisiana Tech, Abilene Christian, New Mexico State, and Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
3.
So now let's go out in there and get one more, Doug.
Well, they handpicked their non-conference
Kentucky. You can beat Kentucky.
I thought you were telling me
They
Kentucky
haven't
was
lately,
picked as
have
one of the top teams in the SEC.
No, I don't think so.
They got the
I thought you
preseason.
said that 2 weeks ago, and I said I can't believe that, really.
I don't remember. But
I don't know who else on the show would have said that.
Their quarterback is a preseason Heisman.
Is he still there? Will
Letts or whatever his name is. Yeah, he's a beast.
They have South Carolina this year?
Yeah,
They go to Columbia. Doug, is that October 29th?
I don't know the dates.
play
Tim.
South Carolina every year.
I think they get 6 wins.
That's what I think. I know I'm a Mizzou basher, but 5 seems a little low.
They had losses. They had every SEC loss except for Kentucky and Vanderbilt. and maybe South Carolina.
And now they got a quarterback, and they got a 5-star wide receiver.
Who has a quarterback?
Did Mizzou sign like 2 quarterbacks out of the portal? And
Sam Horn's not going to start, but he should.
didn't they have one from another program come in? And
No, they were talking about it, but he ended up not going there.
The Arizona State guy? Yeah, he did not come.
Well, drink. What's his third year in the program?
Well, they did lose the
5
running.
wins is huge.
They lost their running back that was about 80% of their offense.
Yeah, but to be fair, they lost Larry Roundtree the first year, and then Beatty stepped up. So it's not out of the question to say that another running back could step up.
Now, Tim,
No.
I have to, and Jackson, I have to throw this out, and this is so premature. If 5 wins does happen and you don't make a bowl, what? I mean, they're in it for the long haul with drink, right?
I'm stepping on my question for Balloon Party.
At least until they get.
No, we can stop. I don't want to.
No, it's cool.
They got to at least get the
different
truck
audience,
paid
trust
off
me.
before they cut bait with
Yeah,
him.
they got to have that dump truck. I think I got 2 more years on that lease.
Dump truck lease.
They leased a dump truck.
In honor of the Rizzuto show, how about Iggy doesn't talk about anything the next 3 days either? That's from Beer Cats.
how about you just stop texting in? How about you just find another show to go bother and bore the hell out of?
The Mizzou does play at Kansas State. You'd think that could be a win, right?
Oh, in Manhattan?
It is on the CBS Sports story. It is considered a win.
Yeah. They start with Louisiana Tech, Kansas State, Abilene Christian. You'd think you better start 3-0. You better. Because then it gets hairy with Auburn and Georgia and Florida.
What do you mean, Harry?
Tough.
Tough?
Tough.
Harry Tufts.
Gets real toughs.
James Carlton was texting me this morning, and I would like to talk to you about James Carlton. He is my State Farm insurance agent in Webster Groves, and I would like to make sure he becomes your State Farm insurance agent as well. Life insurance, James' team has a simple, non-threatening approach to life insurance. They ask a few simple questions. If you didn't make it home tomorrow, what would you want to happen? Do you currently have plans in place to make that happen? Would you like to see how inexpensive it can be to make sure what you want to happen will happen, even if you're not here to see it happen? Although the worst is unlikely, none of us would leave the driveway without strapping our little tykes into a car seat. Life insurance is no different. Although it's not likely that you don't make it home tonight, it's not a risk worth taking when it comes to providing for your loved ones. State Farm is the #1 provider of term life insurance in the U.S. Call James Carlton at 314-961-4800 or apply online at carltoninsurance.net. It's James Carlton. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. And while you're doing it, think about it.
Okay.
Jackson, would you like to tell the people about Urban Chestnut?
Oh, I'd be more than happy to talk about Urban Chestnut. You know, it's summertime, it's getting warm out, and that means it's time to have some great times with your friends, enjoy the outside, enjoy the warm weather, and there's nothing that goes better with warm weather and friends than Urban Chestnut. You know, you got 2 locations. You got the massive 500-person beer hall there in the Grove. They got a nice little outside patio area. They open up those doors. They got a great food menu there, so you get a little bit of food, maybe a couple bratwurst, and you wash it down. Maybe with that, like the Urban Underdog Pale Ale. It's really hoppy, got a little citrus flavor in there. It's delicious. Or you go to the Beer Garden, the all-outdoor beer garden there on Washington Avenue near Slough. Enjoy that warm weather. Enjoy your friends. Sip some ice-cold Urban Chestnut beer. And even if you can't go to one of their 2 locations, you can go pick up a 4-pack. Try out that Urban Underdog Lime. It's super refreshing. It's a great summer beer. It just tastes like summer. And you can pick that up anywhere that quality local beers are sold. That's Urban Chestnut Brewing Company.
Nice, nice, nice. And Iggy, you are a BlueChew guy, I believe.
BlueChew.com, Tim. Chewable tablets. Same active ingredients as Cialis and Viagra. Why spend all that money when you don't have to? Get online. A lot of guys are afraid to go to a doctor. They're afraid to admit that they can't get a boner. There's nothing embarrassing about it, but a lot of guys are afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's all done in the privacy of your own home. You go online, BlueChew.com. Medical professionals will ask you questions. You answer them. They will find the right fit for you, the right dosage of
medicine.
Of the chewable tablet that works for you.
Nice.
And you're all set. It'll come in a private package. They won't even know what you're getting. The mailman won't know. What happens if it goes to your neighbor's house by mistake? His boner pills are here. Nope. No. Chewable tablets come discreet packaging. And guess what?
What?
First order, just to see if you like them.
Very
you
expensive
will.
first order?
Free.
Oh, that's better.
How about free?
Unbelievable.
It's like $5 for shipping and handling. That is it. Your first order will be free. You'll try it. Your wife will thank you. You'll thank me. You'll thank BlueChew.com. A lot of people have trouble swallowing pills. These aren't pills. They're chewable tablets. So, are you tired of being just a loner without a boner?
Oh,
nice.
What you need to do is BlueChew.com. Go to the promo code TMA, first order free, and $5 shipping and handling, and you'll thank me. Your wife will thank you.
have you tried one of these chewable tablets
penis
yourself?
Will thank you.
Oh,
Your penis will talk to you.
Your penis will thank you.
Nice.
It'll stand right up and say hi to you. Thanks,
have you
buddy.
tried one of the tablets yourself?
No, because I don't need them.
Oh.
No, if you have no problem getting a boner, you wouldn't need one. These
No.
are for guys that have ED. That
Okay.
have, tired of not being able to have sex with your wife. She's getting tired of it. At some point, you're going to do something about it. Well, before she does something about it, you do something about it. BlueChew.
Change your luck. Don't be a cuck. You do you with Blue Chew.
That's right. Stiffy and a jiffy. That's my motto, and that's Blue Chew's motto. BlueChew.com. TMA is the promo code. First order free. $5 shipping and handling. Boom. And you will be
Just
booming.
like that.
Boing.
Look,
just don't
that's
make
a
that sound.
spring effect. It's a
Boy, yeah,
spring,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a spring effect. There is a new whiskey in town. Fistful of Bourbon's the name, and going down easy is their game. The kin behind Fistful has spent over 100 years concocting the finest blend of 5 whiskeys this side of the Smokies, making it the smoothest bourbon your mouth will ever feel. This is the kind of complexity that can only be accomplished with good old-fashioned hard work and sound alchemy. That's why Fistful of Bourbon keeps winning gold medals, blue ribbons, and whatnots at every fancy liquor competition from the Berkshires to Bakersfield. Get wise. Pick up a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy Fistful responsibly. Fistful of Bourbon. We close out our Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. We have the Munganess Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. Doug, you could close it to 1 with a win this week at the Travelers.
I sure could.
Pretty good field this week, too.
Sure could.
Yeah, Koepka withdrew because he's getting ready to go play in Portland with the LIV people. But we'll have that coming up. We have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Send yours in, and you can compete against the greats. Right now, it is up for snatch grabs. Brian Henshin, JV golf coach, and Tunnels 12,000, all with 2 wins. Design Air Heating and Cooling. When it is hot out, go to DesignAirService.com and click on the Book Now tab, and you can work with Seth Goldcamp and his outstanding staff of service techs. And if you win the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, you get that Design Air camo cap sent to you, the one that you saw Adam Wainwright wearing in the Cardinal dugout before a game last week. Design Air Heating and Cooling online at DesignAirService.com, the official HVAC provider of TMA and a sponsor of the program for a long-time sponsor of the podcast as well. And if you're looking for Morning Grind History, the Deep Dive, episode 499, 2 hours and 30 minutes, the Tim McKernan Show podcast just posted for your listening pleasure. You're talking about like Audible. There it is. That's like a book right there. It's about 5 years of radio history on this show, all in a podcast. All right, we'll take a commercial break. Michael Wellington joining us in the Michelob Ultra Studios next. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning Interview.
Tim McKernan, once a young boy attending St. Gabriel's in South City, with big league dreams and a lopsided head. But that head was full of hair back then, so you couldn't tell much. Anyway, who knew he would someday return to St. Gabriel's triumphantly as the host of a kick-butt trivia night that's all about the show he eventually created and finally brought to the big leagues, HD2 Radio. It's the first ever TMA Trivia Night, July 23rd at St. Gabe's. It's trivia all about the morning after. So if you know about Iggy's weirdo Hito obsession, or maybe how many days the dude from the poor part of whatever city has been suspended by Doug or whatever, this thing's right up your alley. Tables of 8 are on sale now. Ticket price includes food from Salt and Smoke and beer from the beer sponsor to be named later, plus late night food from Uncle Leo's Pizza. A portion of ticket proceeds will go to Friends of Kids with Cancer. TMA Trivia Night. Get more details at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com longtime title sponsor of TMA. I'm talking about a decade. Well, the gallery is fired up here to see you, Ryan, and we are happy to have you. And you are always taking care of our audience, and now you're doing it in a way that is very appreciated at this particular moment in American history with the cash out refi.
Not only are we doing the cash out refi, but I'm going to put a 10-day closing guarantee on it because I know that people right now need money like they've never needed it before. I totally understand it. I talk to these clients every day. People are seriously considering, do I buy groceries or do I fill up my car? Can we afford to go see our kids when they get out of school by flying lying there. Like, it's just crazy. So that cash out refinance, if you're a homeowner, now is the time. In fact, our average client received over $54,000 at closing with a simple cash out refinance, and I can close those in 10 days or less. Get the money you need today. Get caught up on the bills. Stop worrying. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled-high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
So the stupid corporate contest is still going on. App Madness. And we're still not in the lead against the other big-time FM stations. Let's see, the points in first, and even Casey and that weird arch station is ahead of us. Jesus. So we're upping the stakes. Get the TMA app, sign up for an account, log into that account, and you'll get a keyword which you can use to enter to win the Week 3 prize. Tickets to Point Fest? Sit with Iggy and learn at the rescheduled Point Fest September 24th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Nope, I'm not doing it. I work at Casey. I'm helping Casey win App Madness. I do not wish to go to Point Fest with any of you or with Iggy, and I'm appalled that I'm even in this promo right now. So, no, I will not be sitting with you and Iggy at Point Fest. Good luck with your App Madness, jerks.
Featuring Papa Roach, Highly Suspect, Hailstorm, The Struts, and more. Once you have the TMA app and log into your account, you'll get a keyword. Use that keyword to enter the contest. Help us beat the point by winning Point Fest tickets. Find out more at tmastl.com.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN-TFM, HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
It's Ween Wednesday and it's 6. It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome to the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. If you're watching on YouTube, you might notice Iggy's not here. That's nothing new.
Where's he?
Smoking.
Oh.
Michael Wellington has taken the chair that Iggy was trying to swap with me this morning, but I caught him doing it. Made it awkward.
Do you not have regular positions, or am I?
We do.
Okay. I thought you did.
Iggy's had an issue with his chair, and I walked in after talking to Jackson. He was over here, and I didn't know what he was doing. And then I noticed my chair was much higher than what it had been, and so he was switching my chair because he didn't like his with the one that he didn't like over here.
Power move.
Teamwork.
It was a little disappointing after he was my partner this past weekend, Michael.
How did that go?
Poorly. We were shipped 8-2 in our first match, and you know what that means. Well, you're done.
So how many matches were there? 3?
5.
5.
So it's difficult to come back from.
You're behind after losing the first, and then what happened in the next 4?
We won our next match, halved a match, and lost the other one. So I think the 1, 2, and 2, I think is what it was. 1, 2, and 1.
I know you wanted that trophy. Very bad.
Well, I was. So let me ask you this, because this I was it wasn't really Iggy. It actually was more me. I mean, they just were rolling in putts. The great Kennedy Hudson and Charlie Wiegers. I know you know
Sure,
those guys.
know Kennedy very well.
Yeah, and you just tip your cap. But would you do this? Skip was not scolding me for this. I think it was a bad move. I went out to see the guy I'm working with, and he doesn't want his name on the air.
Sure.
So that's fine. And I saw him on Tuesday before the event on Thursday. And so I was implementing that, but I wasn't ready to implement it, and so I was kind of in between things, and so I was a mess out there. I had 45 holes. I had 2 birdies, and when you're giving pops, that ain't going to get it done. So, yes, this was not on Iggy. Iggy actually was fine. I mean, it wasn't like he was great, but he was fine. He's an 18 handicap. What are you expecting? You know what I'm saying? Would you do the Skip said, who cares? You know you weren't going to win the thing anyway. And he has his reasons why he feels that way. But, and on top of it, it's a sandbagger fest. You already know it going in. Your goal is to get better, so who cares about that? But I'm like, I could have waited a week. Your thoughts?
I like what Skip said. I think you need to try that under some competition and see how it felt, how it worked, if you're going to try a change.
Well, the player just didn't implement it properly.
Yeah, the execution was a little off,
Doug,
maybe?
the execution was bad.
Yeah, I would imagine that was the biggest problem.
But why not take a stab at it? Because, you know, we're, midway through the season. You've still got golf to play this year. You know, you're trying something new. Let's put it to the test under the gun and see how it goes. And now maybe you won't use it in the future. Maybe you will.
Yeah. Well, we were out there yesterday at Family Golf. Saw the great people at How about the short game area at Family Golf?
Amazing.
Oh, my God.
Just wedge festival.
Oh, it is something else. If you really want to improve, that's where you spend your time, isn't it? That's the spot.
I went there, I guess, the night after we got back from Ohio, and it was just spectacular. I hadn't been there and seen it yet, and bunker shots, flop shots, shots out of the rough, shots out of the fairway, short-sided shots. I mean, Mr. Betts did a great job
Yes,
over
he
there.
did. That's a great place. Great sponsor of TMA, Family Golf. And remember, you get 50% off a swing analysis when you tell them you are a TMA listener. Michael Wellington in studio, fresh off of the U.S. Open in Boston, caddying for Chris Nagel. And, of course, a couple of involvements with this presentation. Sponsor of, well, not sponsor, our charity partner at the Dotem. And then last week, as a thank you from our audience for wearing the TMA hat, which you wore at Brookline. Doug, I have it right here.
You look so good.
That's the hat.
Here it is, right here.
It should probably go up somewhere in the studio. The hat that was at the U.S.
This is
Open.
it, right here. I think the audience, once again, doing wonderful things. I think the number was 5,600 last time I checked, and it was going straight to birdies for bipolar. So
incredible.
No need for a middleman. It just goes straight to your foundation.
Just amazing. You know, thank you to the TMA fan base and family. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was getting at least once a day, I would have people in the gallery saying, TMA, you know, do it for Iggy.
Do it for Iggy.
I got to do it for Iggy walking from 8 green to 9T one day.
Can't be serious.
The bag, I almost dropped the bag at that point. But, yeah, no, it was great. It was great to have. We had just tremendous support from St. Louis from all different people, and you guys certainly led the way. So we appreciate that for sure.
Well, so much to discuss with your experience there. We had Chris on Monday before flying back to St. Louis. With regards to the experience, if I say talk about what stood out to you most from the 2022 U.S. Open, the memory you have most, what would it be?
I would think the back nine on Friday.
The back nine on Friday when he was hovering around the cut line.
Yeah, I mean, that entire, 2 hours, 2.5 hours was as intense as I can remember being on the golf course, whether, as a caddy, as a player, that was, because at the U.S. Open there, you can see everything. You know exactly what you need to do. When we were on about 5 or 6, the cut was 4 over, and then we got to the 7th green, and all of a sudden it got to 3 over, and we knew we were 3 over starting the day. So it just, it was awesome. I mean, to be in that scenario and to have all the adrenaline going and trying to keep yourself in the present moment and trying to keep, Chris relaxed, and it was so fun. I mean, it was an awesome experience. And then for him to play the back nine that he did was incredible. I mean, 4 birdies on the back nine, including the birdie at 18. It was that round of golf will always stick out in my mind, from the first tee shot all the way to the last putt, as one of the coolest rounds I've ever been a part of as a player or a caddy.
And why is it?
Just because he had to play well. And I think he would agree with you if you asked him. Like, I don't think he really had his best stuff the whole week. I think we talked.
What was off?
He was just a little bit off with everything in a couple different areas, and certainly was off on Saturday. I think there was a lot of energy spent on Friday afternoon trying to make the cut. But really, from the first tee shot on Friday, he was in a precarious position with his first tee shot. He was left of the fairway with the ball in the rough, his feet were in a fairway bunker, and he had to kind of grip this 9-iron down to the shaft and play kind of a shot that would land short of the green and bounce up. And we had a little discussion about what club it was going to be, and we went with that 9-iron, and he just hit this smooth 9-iron that landed on the front edge and rolled up to I want to say like 12 or 15 feet. And he didn't make that putt, but at the U.S. Open, I feel like now that we've done it a couple times, it's really key to start well. And so it was an easy par at 1, could have been birdie, and then he birdies 2, which to me was arguably the hardest par 3 out there. And that kind of settled us in. And then I think the key to the second round was really the 7th hole, because we went off, as you guys know, as the last group of the day. We were off at like 2:40 or something like that. So we had all day to kind of do whatever we wanted. And I had some friends in town. Zach Pranger from St. Louis, Glen Echo legend, was there. And I had a friend of ours, Jim Foley, who came up from Nashville. And I went out with them on the golf course in the morning and just walked around in the gallery. And I wanted to look at some hole locations and look at some tee boxes and see where everything was positioned. And on the 7th hole, when we were out there watching, Webb Simpson hit his tee shot left on number 7 and made a mess of the hole. And Chris hit his tee shot left on 7 as well. And so when we get over there, we were in a situation where Chris could have played a low shot underneath some tree limbs and tried to run it up to the green, but there was a little tuft of grass right in front of his ball that might have...
Doug, do you have a problem with that?
Tuft of grass?
Is tuft not allowed?
We don't like to use the word around here.
I think I heard it on the manscaping thing. I'm not sure, but
it's
part of a spot.
You needed it.
Okay, good. So we were worried that tuft of grass was going to, clump would be fine as well. I can't argue with you there.
Use
That would kind of create a ramp for the golf ball and get the golf ball up too high. And, but Chris is so talented. All those guys are so talented that they can pull that shot off, easily. But I was like, Chris, I think we just got to chip it out in the fairway, try to make a 4 the old-fashioned way. And I said, I was here earlier today with Zach, and Webb Simpson made a mess from right here. I mean, he tried to hit it on the green, and it just got ugly. He hit the tree, and I can't remember if he made bogey or double, but he just made a mess of it. So, Chris played out to the fairway, hit it in there to like 8 feet and missed it. But even though it was a bogey, I think it kind of calmed him down a little bit because he was able to birdie the next hole, which was 8, and then that set us up for the back 9, which was wild because on 11 he makes bogey, and it kind of tipped our momentum the wrong way. And then I don't know if you guys saw the tee shot he hit on 12. He hit it like 380 yards down the
380 yards.
Or 375 yards, something ridiculous like that. Just, and I think he had some red ass in it because of he made bogey at 11. And then he hit kind of a poor wedge shot, and it ended up like 25 feet below the hole. But he rolls that in, and the crowd went absolutely bananas. I was kind of standing across the green where I got to see Chris's reaction, and I kind of saw him tipping the cap to the crowd and waving to the crowd, and it just gave him so much energy. And then, he birdies 14, he birdies 15, and I mean, then we started getting into the Corn Ferry mode where it's like, okay, let's go get some more. But at the U.S. Open, that might not have been the best approach. So we go to 16, and it's a very awkward par 3 in the sense that the teeing ground on the 16th hole at the Country Club points you a little bit left. If you have ever been out to St. Albans and you played the 3rd hole on Lewis and Clark, that tee box points you left down the road. It's kind of the same, thing. And we talked about that in the practice round, because in the practice round, Chris hit a shot that caught this big tree left of that was on the left side of the hole and kicked it down short of the green. Same thing happened in the 3rd round. He caught this 8-iron a little heavy, and it caught this tree and spit it back. And then, he's in, it's hard pan, like on the ground, but it's like knee-high wispy grass. So you don't really know how it's going to come out. He hits it to the back of the green. It's up against the collar where the rough hits the fringe, which is very challenging to figure out what that's going to do. And then he chips that down to like 30 feet. Well, we had one of the most amazing shows of sportsmanship that I've ever seen happen on this green. This guy named Andrew Beckler. He's from Topeka, Kansas, young guy, probably 22, 25 years old, somewhere in there. He looks at me and he says, he's got the same putt on Chris's line, but he's like a little bit closer to the hole. And he looks at me while Chris was reading the putt, and he said, "Can I putt first?" And I thought, yes, you can putt first. The only reason I knew this rule is because one time Berkmeyer and I are paired together at U.S. Open qualifying at Fox Run, and I had a putt on the 18th hole that would have helped me to see, And Skip said, do you want me to putt this? And I said, yeah, I would love for you to putt it. And he was like, yeah. So he putted that. So I knew this guy could putt the putt in front of Chris and show him the line. Now, it didn't really help Chris. He hit it like 6 feet by, and the other guy had hit it down there like a couple feet. But that act of sportsmanship I thought was unbelievable. He didn't need to,
So what, he was out of it? And
he was
Chris
like 8 or 9 over par.
Okay.
He wasn't going to make the cut. He knew what was going on. He knew that Chris's putt was for bogey. And while Chris was on the other side of the hole, he said, hey, man, can I putt? I said, yes, you can if you'd like to. I said, I'll tell Chris if you'd like. He's like, yeah, let me putt. Let me show it to him. I said, okay.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah. Now, it didn't matter. And then Chris had to make like a slippery little like 6-footer for double. And that was when I was probably at my most anxiety-ridden situation. But he rolled that putt in. So then we go to 17. And 17 was really an iron off the tee. We hit driver twice and we hit an iron twice. But it was a situation where with the right wind, those guys could hit it up near the green or on the green or like in the greenside bunker. And he goes, what do you think about driver? And I said, if that's what you want to do, I'm 100% with you. And he pulled it a little bit, and some trees kind of knocked it down. And he wasn't in a bad spot, but he was in the rough, like 55 yards to the front edge, 63 yards to the hole. And he hit a beautiful shot, just pin high right. And he had a putt that we just didn't think he could physically leave it short because it was really downhill, really fast, and it was downwind. And he putted it up there like literally like a centimeter short right in the middle. And then the 18th, I was certainly nervous myself on the 18th tee, knowing that we got to make par to make the cut. Wasn't really thinking about making a birdie or a bogey. Was just trying to think about making a par. And he stood up there on the 18th tee, and he hit the best tee shot I've ever seen him hit. I mean, it was a rope that went dead flat straight into the wind. I think the scoreboard read he hit it like 297 into this 15-mile-an-hour wind. Middle of the fairway, we had 163, including the uphill, to cover the front bunker. And the wind was into us. His first instinct was, what do you think about 7? And I said, well, what is your juice level? What's your adrenaline situation like? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty pumped up. I said, you better be at this point. Yeah. And he ends up hitting the 8-iron in there to, whatever it was, like 4 or 5 feet. But it's funny because the conversation walking up the 18th hole had nothing to do with what we were doing. I had a situation with him last year in Chicago when we were on the last hole, and we had to wait on a par 5 in a fairway for like 25 minutes. And I just started talking to him about his kids and their like little league games and all this stuff. And I knew I needed to talk to him about something other than what we were doing. So we're going down the 18th fairway after he hit his tee shot, and I said, Chris, have you talked to Sam Alioto lately, who's a buddy of ours, who's a member over at Meadowbrook? He's an older gentleman, great guy. And I said, have you talked to Sammy lately? He's like, no, he's still in Florida, and I think he's now like a out of town member of Meadowbrook. So we spent the walk up the fairway at 18 talking about what we thought the cost was for an out of town membership at Meadowbrook.
Oh, wow.
While we were figuring out the yardage, and then I hit that shot in there. So it was really cool when he hit that shot in there because there was a big crowd there, and his family was there, and they made a big noise, when that ball got close to the hole. And then, he had that 4 or 5 footer for birdie, and he pulled me aside on the side of the green, and he goes, this putt may not get to the hole, because it was just one of those. It was kind of a slippery slider that, you just didn't want to hit it 2 or 3 feet past. And he rolled it in like the stud that he is, and then we were into the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
It was wild.
God.
So how much is it for an out-of-town membership to Meadowbrook?
I still don't know. We were thinking somewhere around $3,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
That was one. I don't know, though.
But I think what people really want to know is, how was the hinge scene for you in Boston?
Boy, it was so quality there, Doug. Just really a lot of nice options if you were to spend some time to take a nice.
Did you have a date or two?
I didn't. I wanted to kind of have my priorities in line.
It was a business trip.
Absolutely, it was. We were there to try to win a trophy, and now I can tell you, I could have stayed if I didn't have more responsibilities here. I probably would have stayed longer and kind of explored that hinge situation.
Oh, would you?
I did go to Fenway on Saturday.
Oh, you did?
And watch
See
the Cardinals
game?
play.
Oh, that worked out well. And they won that day.
Yeah, they did win that game. But I mean, the hinge. I can show you. The options from the Boston hinge. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really quality there.
They all look very well educated.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
For the
They
most
were
part.
nice.
Yeah, I tried to share a little bit.
He did.
Yeah, we
Yes,
saw
he
some.
did.
We appreciated it. Stephen Wildwood, I know, appreciated it.
Yeah, I'm
Big
glad
fan.
I'm glad he was intrigued.
Big fan.
Yeah, we saw her, doctor by day, jester by night.
Yep.
Well, I forgot about her. Yeah, she was early in the week.
Oh gosh.
Shoot during the practice rounds.
Exactly.
Huh.
But Boston was cool. The fans there were they were different than the fans at Shinnecock. They were a little louder, a little bit more like fun loving. They like the fans in New York. They would they try to make fun of you, and it wasn't real clever. But these fans, every day on the 14th hole, there was like a 200-yard walk for the players and the caddies from the tee box to get to the fairway, and there were really tall grandstands, and all those fans, they would just clap while you were walking. And they were, on Friday, they were really rambunctious, and there was guys in there who definitely were enjoying happy hour. And so that part of it was cool. We had a couple shots, where we were like, way up into the gallery where we had to move the people around. And I know on Sunday morning after the Cardinals won Saturday night, I saw some guys in the gallery on number 5 that we were close to. And I said, did the Red Sox win last night? And, of course, they were like, no, they got worked out. I didn't tell them, anything. But it was kind of fun.
Cardinal fan.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
You can pose questions for Michael. 314-881-TMA5, Engineered Design Facilities, sponsor of our text inbox here on TMA. 314-881-TMA5. That is how you can get involved in the program. If you have visibility to your company or place of business, commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com. They'll have a technician come out and provide a fair evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com, the official commercial fire alarm services and solutions provider of TMA. EDF is Missouri and Illinois preferred full-service vendor for licensed and certified professional servicing, monitoring, and testing for fire alarm services and systems, fire suppression systems, fire alarm system monitoring services, tenant improvements and construction, security access, and monitoring services. It's Engineered Design Facilities, EDF, Engineered Designed Facilities. Let's see what we got here. Question for Wellington. Both of Chris's playing partners missed the cut, neither of them having played all that well on Saturday. I don't follow that. Maybe meant Friday. Does it make it more difficult for the golfer to stay engaged or focused on the round when the other guys in the group are not playing well?
I think so. There's a little bit to that. Not completely, but because all these guys can really play. But yeah, the kid from Wichita, Luke Gannon, he struggled. He struggled around the greens quite a bit. But yeah, I think certainly it helped us quite a bit in Ohio in the qualifying when the guys we were with were all making birdies or making good scores and everybody was feeding off each other. I think there was, I felt like on 17 on Thursday we had to wait a long time for a ruling, and one of the guys kind of made a mess of a chipping situation behind the green, and Chris had to wait a really long time to putt, and he ended up 3-putting. So, yeah, I think there is something to that. You certainly you'd want everybody in the group to play well, no doubt.
Any cool interactions between either of you with any of the big-name golfers? That's from the White Collar Gangster.
We played the practice round with Keegan Bradley, who, it didn't surprise me that he played well because the way he looked in that practice round, he was sharp. He was hitting it straight and long, and being a hometown guy, the fans were all over him early. We didn't have a lot of interaction speaking with him. The only interaction, I guess, with, Harold Varner came up, and because both he and Chris are sponsored by Worldwide Technology, and Harold is just one of the coolest dudes of all time. What a smart move by Worldwide to get him. He came up to Chris because we had played with Harold at Shinnecock, and he was just asking Chris how he was doing, but he actually had something going on with his tonsils where he couldn't talk very much, so he was actually, Harold's a guy that likes to talk, but he had to try to watch what he was saying. But otherwise, it was just kind of everybody's out there, business as usual. I mean, there was a couple cool moments on the driving range where, like, I'm watching Chris hit, and to my right I got John Rahm, and then to my left I got DJ. Like, that was kind of cool.
How about that?
I mean, Rahm, the way Rahm hits it is just obnoxious. I mean, the compression is just there's a different sound to his ball. And then, everybody else, the first day that we went to the range, Spieth was 2 spots down, working on that contorted move he's got going on. All the guys are there on the putting green. I mean, we're putting right next to Phil. I think I might have sent you a picture of him putting between Gary Woodland and DJ. I mean, we were chipping next to Brooks one day. We didn't talk to him about LIV. However, we knew he was going. So that, yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's not I think that if you walked up to any of them, they would be totally cool. Like if you wanted to say something or even ask for like maybe a picture or something like that, I think they would really be cool about it. But it just felt like a tour event, and just instead of the Corn Ferry guys being there, it was just all the guys you see, week to week on television.
We asked Chris about this when he was on with us Monday. Iggy and I were talking about it while we were getting it handed to us in the member guest. That it kind of sucks from our standpoint, but Chris didn't seem to care. I was curious if you cared. That considering where he was, and he was, 7 strokes off the lead set by Morikawa after 36 holes, 6 or 7, one or the other.
Okay, I thought it was 5. But
5?
Maybe,
Okay, might be 5. Might have been 5. I don't know.
It was.
He was +2 going into the weekend, right?
Was more than 3 under winning after the first
I thought,
2
but I
days?
could be off. Either way, I mean, he was that close that you... And there were some big names in that grouping at +2 that you guys could have gotten paired with take your pick.
Sure.
Does that interest you?
Yes.
Okay, good. I think that's an honest answer.
I don't think he cares. What did he say? Did he say he didn't bother?
Said no, he doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't care. These guys, what I'm...
They're different species.
Yeah, they don't care one bit. They just want to beat your head in no matter who you are. It makes no difference, right? But certainly I would have preferred watching him play with Spieth or getting to see DeChambeau play or one of those guys. Now, the kid we played with on Saturday from Oklahoma, Chris Goddard, my goodness, if he learns how to putt the ball, he's going to win everything because he must have missed 5 putts inside of 6 feet for birdie, not just for par. He was just striping it, and he was really long. He was maybe... I don't know if he was longer than Nagel, but they were very comparable. If he maybe a few yards longer, but Chris didn't hit it that well that day. So that he was a nice kid, and the kid, and then we played the final day with a guy from the Netherlands, who pretty much drove the 17th green, which I thought was impressive. But I wasn't a big fan of his personally. He was just kind of a stiff.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, he just didn't. He was kind of probing Chris on the 5th tee. We had a little bit of a wait about where he was playing, and Chris was like, "Well, they kicked me off the tour," joking around. And this guy couldn't understand because he played I guess the European tour, and his caddy was very nice. They were very nice people, but I don't know. They were. I guess when you're competing, you're trying to win. At that stage, you're trying to beat the other guy because you're going to make more money. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. He didn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have definitely loved to have any of those guys that you see.
Sure, yeah, and you were around some big names at that spot after Friday. What went wrong on Saturday? You think he was just tired?
I do. Yeah. I just think, having to go last on Friday and then going through that emotional roller coaster on the back 9, and then if you really want to get picky about it, then he stays at the course a little bit, you kind of soak it all in, and then he's got to go back to the house, and he's got the whole family there. He's got all of his kids there. He had his brother and sister-in-law drive in from Knoxville all night. I mean, it was awesome because he got to experience that with all of them. But I do think he was tired. I mean, the way he hit the golf ball on Saturday was way different than he hit it the first 2 days. And I mean, it's understandable. I mean, he's a human being. I mean, to go through that roller coaster and not have your emotions go up and down and just take a little bit of energy away from you, that you wouldn't be human if you didn't have that happen.
Is it hard for you as a guy who played at a high level yourself just to watch people and not hit yourself?
No, because these guys can do things that are just sometimes superhuman.
Explain that to the casual, because I don't think people understand that. I remember, and I might have told you this story before, and I know I've said it on the radio before, but just to reiterate, I had Mark Mulder on, who's a great player.
Yes, he is a good player.
But he'll play with Pat Perez and Ches Reavie, and by no means are those guys superstars, but they're still tour guys.
They have the skill set, though.
Right. And he goes, my analogy to baseball fans would be it's like an A-ball player getting called up to the big leagues. And yes, the A-ball player might get a hit 1 out of 10 times, but there is such a difference between A-ball and the major leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I'm fine at golf, but in comparison to these guys, there's a huge gap.
Yeah.
So like when somebody you and I were texting the thing that Riggs, who was in studio, great guy, couldn't have been a better guest, and was great off the air. And he said, "What if you started minus 50? Could you win the U.S. Open?" And it's like, I don't think I would break 110 there. And you might go, no, I don't think you break 130. I don't know. But so immediately I'm plus 40 after one day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not even close to making the cut by like the third hole. I mean, I already. So the minus 50 thing, but I don't know if the average person gets the gap. So when Doug asks that, what is the difference? I mean, distance certainly is one thing.
Yeah, nowadays distance is the thing, and Chris Nagel has got that distance. I mean, you know, there's many guys on the Korn Ferry Tour. There's many guys at the top level amateur golf that have wonderful skills and they can shoot a good score, but when you're talking about a setup that like the USGA does that is just so demanding, there's only a certain amount of guys that have those skills when you factor in. You need the length now, and then the short game prowess is just, that's where the difference is. The difference is around the greens. The difference is, 100 yards and in. These guys, they're so talented. They're looking at chip shots to hold them out, whereas the normal player is just trying to get it within, 5 or 6 feet. If they get into trouble, like if they drive it into trouble, they can hit it, chip it down the fairway and then hit a wedge to a couple feet. The skill set is it's just a different level. I mean, Mulder has it. That's right. I mean, he's explaining that correctly. When the conditions are easy, and I think that benefited us on Friday afternoon, the conditions for like 7 holes on the back 9 really calmed down. And we were able to just kind of really embrace the nice weather, the Friday at the U.S. Open, and he was able to pick off a few birdies. I mean, 4 birdies in 9 holes at the U.S. Open, that's rare.
Absurd, yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just Chris has these abilities that all of our buddies that we've been playing with him for now 15 and 20 years, we've known about these abilities, especially the length was always something that he had from the get-go. He could always bomb it, right? And he just needed some time to learn how to be a little bit more finesse oriented with the wedge, around the green, and then also those short wedge distances, your 60, 70, 80, 90 yards. And he can do all those things, and now, he's proven it twice, and so it's really cool to see him do it because I know the amount of work it's taken him to get to this level. It's not just like where he can, he didn't just roll out of bed like Sergio Garcia and just, be able to go, compete in majors. I mean, he worked and worked and worked and worked, and now his instincts for the game are just incredible. He truly is a student of the game and has gotten better, pretty much every year,
We can't hear
Doug,
you.
do we have a mic situation?
We can't use
Has anybody
this
seen my nurse? Has anybody seen my nurse? There's my nurse.
Don't worry about it. I had to plug it in. It's still not plugged in, I guess. And this is nothing to say Chris had an advantage on Friday afternoon because you're really curious about this. 'Cause I've seen nobody talk about this, but I saw it, and I saw pictures of them watering the greens after the morning round on Friday, for the afternoon round, and they didn't water them in the morning. And did you hear anything after the rounds? Players complaining that why were they watering the greens for the afternoon guys? We didn't get that.
I did
you
not.
hear any of that?
I did not.
Yeah, well, maybe it wasn't a big deal. Maybe I just read too much into it.
I mean, it was windy on Friday morning.
A little chilly though, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we talked to Jason Gore, who you may remember, was PGA Tour player, and now he works for the USGA, and he's buddies with Chris Nagel from playing on the Korn Ferry, and we talked to him on Wednesday about course setup, and he said, we'd really like to make the greens even faster, but because we're going to have a lot of wind on Thursday and Friday morning and then on Saturday, we can't make the greens as fast as we want. Now, they were still, 12, but I think, if there would have been less wind, they probably wouldn't have watered, and they would have made them a little bit more treacherous.
They didn't have that wind in the morning, did they?
On which day?
On Friday.
No, I was out there. They had some wind because I went out to watch the golf course. Right, it was kind of windy, but it was just a challenge around the greens. That was the biggest challenge. If you hit it in the rough around the greens, like you didn't know if it was going to come out the way you think it's going to come out, or if it's literally going to go all the way across the green. That was the most difficult challenge.
And Tim and I were talking about it at the member guest because I kept saying that it's got to be 4. It was 3 going into the afternoon. Then it got to 4, and I said, well, it's got to be 4. I said, the scores aren't going to get better. And they did in the afternoon by like a stroke.
I thought, to be honest with you, Iggy, I thought the same exact thing. When I saw 4 when we were on the 5th green, and then by the time we got to the 7th green, it went to 3, and that was when the wind started to die down, and I thought, well, this is a combination of, the course is hard, yes, but these players are so good. I mean, they just are so talented that was kind of to me, that was just the statement of the players making that cut stay where it stayed.
Any conversation with guys about the LIV situation?
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, so we played a practice round with Bo Hogue, who is an Ohio State product, and I think I might have mentioned them to you guys, but yeah, he and his instructor, Jim McLean, Jim was like, well, you know, Bo, if they offer it to you, you're going to take it, right? And he's like, well, yeah, I think so. So I really wonder what they offered Brooks or what they paid Brooks, because if they gave DJ 125 or 150, he's got, what, 2 more majors than DJ? And, like, Brooks is the kind of guy that's going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to need more than him, and I'm also going to need more than Bryson, and because I've got more majors than all of them, right? Which I get that. Good for him, you know, but it's very interesting. That whole situation. It's really it's creating more spots, which I like.
Yeah,
Chris is
it'll have a great domino effect. So it sounded to me like Nagel was re-engaged in the game after this weekend when we talked to him on Monday. Is that your read?
Totally. I think he really got re-engaged after his play in Ohio. You know, I think his overall play at the Country Club at Brookline, I would give it a C+, right? And I think he would agree with that. But his play in the Ohio sectional was kind of like an A-.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like if he plays A or A+, he can win anywhere. If he plays C+, you can see what he did. I mean, and the great thing about him, and I've seen him do this many times, he stepped up when he had to on that back 9 on Friday to make the cut. That's when he turned on, you know, the afterburners and really kind of showed what he's capable of. I mean, he is unbelievably calm out there. Like, his wife even said to me when we were leaving the parking lot before the second round, she said, try to keep him calm. I said, that's the one thing he just does not need help with. I mean, at all. He is so level-headed. I mean, and I guess, you know, that is something that all the great players have.
That's what I was about to say. Isn't that a common trait across the board? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, very rarely was he emotional at all. I mean, he would get a little excited. He got excited when he made the putt on 12 on Friday, but he got a little aggravated when he made bogey on 5 on Thursday, but, like, nothing where it got in the way of him, you know, doing what he needed to do.
Yeah.
You allowed to use anything to measure yardage?
He's got the book here, right here.
It's just the book. Because, I mean, you talk about, are you 60 yards away or 63 yards away?
Yeah.
Are they really that precise?
Yes.
How can you tell?
Yes, they are. They just are. So obviously in the practice rounds you can use the lasers, right? And we check the lasers and check the slopes. We see if the slopes match what's in the book, because, you know, these guys are so good. Like, they know if I need to hit it 141, I'm going to hit it 141. If I need to hit it 178, I'm going to hit it 178. Like, it's uncanny how well those guys do exactly that, to answer your question. Now, obviously, the average golfer that's going out to Riverside doesn't know if he's going to carry it 156 or, you know, 174.
Respectfully, Plowhawk does know if he's going to carry it 156.
Yeah, usually when I had the hybrid in my hand, I'm going to carry it 140. You know,
I just can't imagine how you'd swing differently if you're trying to hit it 63 yards as opposed to 61 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking, you know, maybe the way you cut off your follow-through, or maybe the length of your backswing. I mean, it really is one thing that all those guys do very well is if you have an exact number to carry that ball in the air, they can make their body create that distance.
Isn't that just muscle memory then at that point? Like, they're shooting with their instructor, and they're probably having some free time with them on the course. I would assume
it's practice. I mean, I've heard a number of different things about muscle memory. I've heard some sports psychologists say muscle memory is a myth. I've also heard, muscle memory, like, you have to do that, but it's just practice and repetition and knowing, hey, if I move my shoulders this far or the club head this far or whatever, the ball's going to go 72 yards. You know, just kind of doing it over and over and over time, you just understand how far you need to hit the ball.
No, we can't hear you.
Doug, Mike,
that Mike 5, just don't use it.
I saw Tosbury, and I guess maybe he has his own way of doing it, but he's teaching the high school team he coaches.
Nice.
And he's on the putting green, but he's in the rough, practicing chips. And he said for every yardage he has, whether it's 15, 20, 25 yards, he's got a backswing that goes like the clock. All right, for this, 8 o'clock. All right, you got about another 15 yards, that's 11 o'clock. And you just have all that memorized that I know that's 12 o'clock, I know this is 6 o'clock.
I think there's lots of people that use that method, and I think that's a very useful method, right? I also think there's other people that just they just go by total feel. The clock may help them, with an idea in their mind, and certainly Taz knows what he's talking about. I saw he played great the last couple of days at Belle Reve in the State Am, so hopefully he can make his way through some matches over there.
What would a scratch golfer have shot at a scratch? So now we're not talking the plus land scratch. You're essentially what, like a plus point
Sure.
something?
No, I'm around a 0
Okay.
right now, I think.
All right. So what do you think you go up there and shoot?
Boy.
I
now,
realize Saturday was different
the
than
wind,
Friday.
With that wind, if I played my absolute best, maybe 77, 76, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If I played out of my mind and it wasn't that windy.
Yeah.
But, otherwise, if you played perfect, but if you're off a little bit, you're going to have a hole where you make a double or two, because if you miss a green in the wrong spot, the way those lies were, it was just, it was harder than Shinnecock in that regard. At Shinnecock, there was a lot of runoffs into fairway grass, which really played into Chris's hands because he's really good at hitting that little spinner. But at the country club, the rough was so high and thick around the green that, it was like once you get to the lie around the green, you're trying to figure, okay, well, what is this really going to do? Because it was a guessing game. And if you could guess right, you'd be all right. But if you guess wrong, you could make a mess of any hole. Like we had that kid that we played with on Saturday, the kid from Oklahoma, Gotterup. He made an absolute mess of number 5. And he was right in front of the green, 25 yards off the front of the green in the fairway, chipped it over, got in the rough, chipped it back over. You just can't control the ball coming out of there. Kind of like the shot Chris had to play on 16 on Friday after he hit the tree on the par 3. You can't control it. The ball's got overspin on it, and there's nothing you can do with it.
Michael Wellington, fresh off the U.S. Open in studio with us. He brought the hat back, Doug. He's brought some ball marks for us here.
Oh, wow.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, I stole those from the locker room.
Nice.
Like that. Yeah,
Nice,
of course.
nice.
Got to get some member paraphernalia in here.
Here's the TMA hat for those of you watching on YouTube, and some ball marks.
The TMA was a big hit, man.
Is that right?
Yeah,
People loved it?
yeah.
So you were in the locker room. Did you shower with the fellas?
Flip that off.
I did not. They had a whole caddy area for us, which enabled me to just kind of stay in my own area.
Oh,
no showering though.
You didn't shower with those fellas?
What a mess. Chubbs Peterson texting in. I don't know if you know Chubbs Peterson.
I think I remember him from Happy Gilmore.
That's correct. Well, he's a plus .9 in the St. Louis area at Glen Echo, and I would feel like you may be aware of him.
Okay.
Because there aren't a whole lot of those in general, but then at that particular establishment where
I may know him, yeah.
He said, and Pockets, that's one of Iggy's many names here on the show, said, I was going to shoot a 120. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Iggy. That's from Chubbs Peterson.
Oh, you better respond.
No, he still might.
Yeah, I was going to say, he would.
120 where?
At the Country Club Brookline.
Yeah, you would shoot a 120. I don't think you're a plus whatever. But you probably, because you're playing in front of people, and you would choke. You would get nervous.
Chubbs Peterson would?
Yes, I don't care how good you are playing in front of 30,000 people, and people are watching you, and all the eyes are on you. You would dub so many shots.
Michael, you would have been so proud of the way Iggy handled the pressure of the par 3 shootout. We made it to the final, and he was just firing darts onto that 12th green.
12?
And he holed out a putt from about 10 feet.
Oh, my.
After he missed the first one by 10 feet. But it doesn't matter. The next one, the comebacker, he got it, and we advanced to
the hole so I can see what the break is coming back.
Absolutely. It was shrewd. It was sophisticated.
Does anybody have any video footage of that?
I actually do.
Yeah,
I was on the green taking video. I'm like, this is an opportunity for content. And I'm like, God, what if he hold this putt?
So Chubbs Peterson. Let's go back to Chubbs for a moment.
Chubbs Peterson. He's been sideways with the Plowhawk and I guess Iggy.
Really?
Yeah.
Now he's a 0 at Glen Echo. So does that mean he thinks he could break 80 at the Country Club?
Chubbs, this is your opportunity. If you want to call in, you can
talk
talk.
A lot of really good players at Glen Echo.
There are, aren't there?
Oh yeah. Absolutely, there are.
Best concentrated collection of players in the area?
It's close. It's either there or Meadowbrook, I would say. I don't know if I could think of a club that has more, plus handicaps or, single, low, 0, like 1 or 2 handicaps.
Does he get asked to do a lot of St. Louis stuff? I know there's 2 events coming up that they just announced yesterday that I saw that Pat Perez is coming in town.
Really?
To play in Faraday's thing.
To play against Ozzie, Marshall Falk, Chris Pronger, and
Brett Hull. Yeah, I think that's at Meadowbrook, I think.
Yeah, it's late September at Meadowbrook.
And then they have a luncheon coming in for the Ascension with Hale Irwin, Lee Trevino, and Nancy Lopez. Does Chris ever get asked to join any of these things?
Not to this point. I think those things might change now. I know he did play with Pat Perez at the the tournament in New Orleans, the PGA Tour event in New Orleans before. But, you know, it's interesting you bring that up, Iggy, because I find it just ridiculous that there's a Corn Ferry event in Springfield, Illinois, as well as a Corn Ferry event in Springfield, Missouri, and he's not in either one of those. I just do not understand that. That does not make any sense to me.
I'll get him in Springfield, Missouri, but
well,
I have no
I mean,
Doug, look at that. Iggy's going to get him
by
in.
all means.
Yeah.
I mean, we've exhausted some resources to try to. I mean, the thing about Springfield, Missouri, that's so ridiculous is they have Tony Romo come and play, and Tony Romo will walk off the golf course before he finishes his round. You got a guy like that who's probably paying for his spot, and then you got a guy that's made the cut in 2 major championships in your home state, and he's not in the field. Like, that's ridiculous. This may be a problem.
Golf. They really don't. The people
Apparently
who
not.
don't even know anything about golf. They just look for names. They don't look about a St. Louis native, you know, a guy that brings some fans down. People know who he is here in Missouri. No, they think about names like Romo and whatever. They don't really know anything about golf.
Let's bring in a quarterback who's going to walk off the golf course. Seems like a good
I'll
strategy.
Talk to those guys. When it's coming up in
I want to say July.
July or
usually.
August, I think. I'll talk to him.
Please, by all means.
The recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves sends this in, Doug. Hey, Tim, I don't know how Mike would shoot at Brookline, but wifey said he was throwing darts on her POA greens last night. Thanks. That's the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves.
Your thoughts on that, Doug?
What does that even mean?
What's
Throwing
POA?
darts- What the hell is that?
What's POA?
What's going on?
Doesn't that pepper the Riverside greens?
You know what? I've never been, but I heard. But it was definitely in the greens at
in Brooklyn
at the country club, and I believe it's in the greens at Westboro a bit. I knew
Yes,
it was
indeed
when I
it
grew up
is.
there. It still might be lurking.
It is lurking. I think that impacted some of Figgy's putts.
It's an old grass. It's a very old grass.
Wellington, what was your quote-unquote score in Boston on the Bumble leaderboard? That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Good to hear from the Wacko, by the way.
Yeah, you got around in Jupiter, didn't you?
I'm not going to. Yes, we did. We did. I'm not going to lie. I did not. My focus was on the tournament, and I should have. I probably could have done better than I did, or
Well, I'm
made a
telling
better
you,
effort.
you had some choices.
I had some great options, and you know what? If for some reason I ever go back there, you know, I can refer back. But yeah, I wanted to kind of act like, you know, let's make sure that we're doing the right thing.
It's
the
too
right
bad
way.
you made the cut, or you would have had a weekend there.
Boy, oh boy, Doug. Yeah, could have been quite a weekend.
Yeah.
How would Nagel react if you showed up and had one of your floozies just kind of on the
One of your
course there?
floozies. I like that.
I will say, when we left Shinnecock a couple years ago, there was a young lass who was nice enough to come and pick me up.
Oh, fresh out of Manhattan.
Her family had a place in the Hamptons.
Oh,
so
dog. Just
on
like we all do.
On Sunday afternoon, I left with her, and then you know, she was able to get me to the airport the next day. But so I didn't kind of go down that road this time.
For heaven's
but
sakes.
maybe I should have.
Nagel, look, there's cinnamon. Right.
Chubbs Peterson says, I think I would keep it under 90, to be honest.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know who this. I mean, you have to tell me who this man is. I mean,
don't know who he is.
It's all on the hips, Chubbs.
For whatever reason, initially he was on the Plowhawk, now he's on Iggy, and he wants to play Iggy in a match.
No, I've got a match against the Illsider.
Yeah, Iggy gets requested for matches like every week, and he make a job.
Well, when
of
somebody
this.
criticizes Iggy's golf game, what he does is it's ABC Poker. Then they get to go out and play golf with Iggy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So
I'll take your money. I don't care.
So if you play Chubbs, you're going to get what, 16, 17
minimum? Yeah,
17. But I'm not playing him.
Why not?
Oh, if you get 7, you got to. 18
Why not?
pops?
What's wrong?
Because I don't know the guy.
Who cares?
Yeah, get a separate
I
card.
No, Illsider seems like a nice guy. He's DM'd me a couple times, showed me his gin.
He does have a Grint.
That we can
Do
play.
a lot of guys who are playing in the U.S. Open have Grints?
What's a Grint?
Yeah, that's
Oh, no.
There's a shirt right behind you there.
There was a controversy, Michael, in the Fan Page Club Championship that Jay, Iggy, I don't know who else is on the committee, I assume Jackson and myself, said everybody has to have a gin, and some guys don't pay for the $35 a year for the gin, and they use something called the Grint, and they say it's the same as the handicap system.
It's like comparable to the USGA gin system?
It's not.
It is slightly mathematically different. Somebody sent in the formula, and if you have a Grint, your handicap is actually a little higher than the gin. But for whatever reason, those who use the Grint are very passionate about it.
Do you feel as if the Grint is an accurate distributor of the handicaps, or is it
As somebody who doesn't use the Grint, I don't feel qualified to speak on it. I just know that I appreciate the passion those who use it have for the application.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know there was. I honestly didn't know there was a Grint or anything else out there besides USGA.
We didn't either.
It's the El Camino. It's like good at the time, but like you looking back, it's like, oh, that was not. That's a disaster.
I've noticed you haven't been able to take your eyes off the Michelob Ultra Fan Page Club Championship bracket over there, and because you recognize a lot of these guys, you played, I think, at Spring Hill with 3 of the final 8.
You got some Badgers in there,
and I believe of the 8. 1 is a Grinter. I believe that's the case, but I could be off.
So if he wins,
does it have an asterisk?
Is there an
next to it?
asterisk?
Yeah, I mean, does it have an asterisk?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I mean, now let me ask you this, Iggs. Why can't you play Chubbs Peterson? I feel like this is something you could do. Maybe I could loop for you.
Oh, you could have Wellington.
I mean,
He's
maybe I
caddy
could
of the
loop.
U.S. Open.
I don't feel like I would enjoy his company.
Wow. So has it really been contentious with this man?
It's contentious with essentially most of the audience.
I didn't know. I'm not familiar with his work. I mean, I try to listen as much as I can, fellas, but
you don't miss a lot. And I think with that, with
podcasting in the locker room at the country club,
Wellington's offer makes it a little bit more enticing for Iggy because now you have to go separate cards because you obviously you're looping for Iggy. You're going to be on a bag. So you don't have a lot of conversation with Chubb.
That's what this guy's after. He wants to play a match, get notoriety, talk about it. That's all he's after.
Notoriety.
And
notoriety? Are you playing for money?
I'm tired of people riding my golf coattails, riding my penis coattails.
Michael doesn't know what just hit him. First he learns about the Grint, and now he hears about Iggy's penis coattails.
Where did that go?
Well, there's all kinds of things going on here.
Man, I had to listen more intently, apparently.
It's just being used.
Chris Ravy says Grint is essentially wearing denim to play golf. Thanks. That's from Chris Ravy.
That's...
Chubbs Peterson has issued another statement. I'll take Wellington on my bag since Pockets wants his sugar daddy Cletus to caddy for him.
There you go. Now he's trying to suck up to you to get more notoriety. Hey, Wellington's on my bag. Yeah, I'm playing Iggy. Come see us. Hey, they're talking about me on the radio. It's all you people want. I'm tired of it.
Guys, gin is to Grint as rich is to poor. That's from Bobby Tejas. There is a passionate divide in the audience over the Grint app.
I mean, honestly, I should be a Grint guy. Looking at what I eat, what I do on my free time, the bank account.
You don't have any handicap.
No, so if I would have won, it really would have been an asterisk. But I'm certainly an 18 to 19 handicap.
Can we get back to people riding Iggy's penis?
I don't know if
What in the world is that about?
I don't know if I want to dive into that.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I think people can figure it out.
Iggy, what's your connection to Springfield, Missouri? For that?
Lived down there, pretty much ran the city for 3 years.
Yep. Chicago's my town.
Mayor.
Doug Edward G. Robinson, is that right?
Chicago's my town, see?
So
I was the mayor. We've heard the whole Ned Reynolds story that, he wanted me fired because I was more popular than him.
Yeah, didn't Woodland and DJ bring that up while you were on the
Who's Ned Reynolds?
That's actually a really good one.
Play that forever.
Welly, this might be the best drop you've had yet.
But the more I think about it, I think because it's tied into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes.
And it's, a money thing. Yeah. That I think they actually have a qualifier. They don't give away sponsor exemptions. They have golfers pay to play in a mini tournament, and then they take like the top 3.
Well, of course, they have the regular Monday qualifier.
But then they have their own qualifier to give away their sponsor exemptions.
They used to have that because I used to play in that.
They don't anymore?
They don't do that anymore.
Well, then I'll try to get one for them.
Well, I mean, please do. It's ridiculous that that I think that he isn't on their radar. You know
I still know Kurt very well and Gerald Andrews, who's used to be president of the Hall of Fame. Now he's kind of stuck around and retired. But I can talk to them and see how they do it.
I mean, if you can, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to get him in there.
Yeah, I just think he's so close to both that one and the one in Springfield, Illinois. It just makes and he's played in that one many times when he had full status.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's gone down to that city and contributed to their economy by staying in their hotels. And it's just like I don't understand when you get right now there's not the only I guess the only tour player from the state of Missouri is the kid from up north. Bryce Garnett.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if there's any other. I mean, Adam Long doesn't live here anymore. He's certainly from Missouri, but I mean, I just feel like a guy from Missouri should be in the tournament.
Especially it's the momentum for not only Nagel but for golf in general to have a local guy there. I think would be
totally 100%.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how they work it.
I hadn't thought about it. Just I don't really think about Corn Ferry all that often, but it is odd that he's not in there. It is strange.
It does give him some. He gets to skip now the pre-qualifiers for the Monday qualifying on the PGA Tour, which is huge.
Yeah.
Because that's like another I want to say $300 for the entry, then hotel. He doesn't have to be away from the family as long. I think that's one of the most remarkable things about him is that he is really like the everyday American guy raising 3 kids with a wife living in the suburbs, and he just rolls into the U.S. Open and competes with the best on the planet.
And is 39 years old and was leading the field in driving distance.
Well, that
to me is that's because if anything, I would think that people would go, well, he's 39, even though 39 isn't old in golf, especially now, it is. And then you go, well, why is it old? Well, driving distance. And then what does he do? He goes to the U.S. Open. He leads the field in driving distance.
Yeah, I think that certainly he's gifted and he's able to hit it far. But, he also works and trains at that D1 studio. You guys ever heard of the D1 facility? I think it's that guy who played for the Patriots, Dan Connolly. He was like a lineman.
Oh, yeah.
He started these D1 facilities, and Chris has been working at this one for a few years. I mean, and that helps him. Obviously, he can hit it far on his own, but the training he's done to stay strong has just been incredible, and that's one of the reasons why he led the field in driving.
Does he hit it as far as John Daly did when Daly was in his prime?
Probably further, but mathematically, right? Because Daly was in the 90s, and all these guys hit past there, right?
I would think it's comparable. I mean, I think back then, the equipment was different. We're never really going to know, but I said this when we went to Shinnecock. We played a practice round with Trey Mullinex, who at the time was the leading driver on the PGA Tour with the distance. He was hitting it past him in the practice round, and then he led the field in driving distance. So I think, was it more than just Friday? Was it the whole tournament?
I saw somebody
I know it was Friday for sure.
Say he was doing it on Saturday as well.
Yeah, so that the length has never been an issue. When he was younger in his early mid-20s, there was all that speed and he had the length, but, the accuracy wasn't there yet. And as he got older, because I watched him, do this, he learned how to hit it, more online and play more often. And now, when he's on, like he was in Ohio, golf is easy.
Would you say he's following Iggy's golf coattails or his penis coattails?
Flip that off.
Wow.
Penis coattails. Never heard the phrase.
Probably golf. Let's keep.
Yeah, he's a married man, father of 3.
Let's keep the rest out of it.
Okay.
Justin in Columbia picks his spots, as you know, but he has chosen to strike, and he says the Grint is nothing more than a crappy rangefinder for people who can't afford a Bushnell. Thanks, Justin in Columbia. Orson Woods Wacko says Iggy has about as much pull in that turn as my 17-year-old daughter does. Orson Woods Wacko.
You might be wrong there. I was a tee starter for 2 years. There's only a handful of people that did that.
Please, by all means, call down there. It's mind-boggling.
They could have called anybody. Guess who they called? Iggy. We need you to be the tee starter at the tournament. It was on hole 1.
I wouldn't make as big a deal about it except for the Romo thing. I just think that's ridiculous. You're going to have that guy who walked off the golf course.
So what's the deal? He gets mad and he walks off the course.
So he has just.
I know.
Not that I want to waste my
I always
time
see you
talking about
it.
Tony Romo. Well, so this all began about 10 years ago. I have a very close friend who I played at Spring Hill College with, who lives in Chicago, and Tony Romo entered this tournament called the Will County Amateur because he was still an amateur for some reason, and he wins the tournament. Okay, great, good for him. The next year, he comes back to defend his title, and he walks off in the middle of the second round.
It wasn't going well.
Apparently not. I don't know. Maybe he was injured. I'm not sure. But then you fast forward another 5 or 6 years, he gets this sponsor's exemption into the Corn Ferry event in Springfield, and I don't know if he paid for this spot or they just gave it to him, but I don't know if it was the middle of the first round or the second round, but he walked off. Like, I don't have a problem if you play, right? If you're a celebrity and you think you're a good enough player to play with these guys, which is insane, but at least finish the round. What are you saying to all those kids out there that are watching you, that watch you quit? Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Like that's
so there's
a
reputation for walking off.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen Colt Knost and those guys give him trouble about it, and I think Colt Knost has pulled Romo aside after these things have happened and said, look, man, if you're going to play in these things, you at least got to finish. I don't care if you shoot 85, which I'd have more respect for the guy if he shot 85 and finished than he just, walking off. That's ridiculous.
Guys, can you sell bumper stickers that read, I was a tee starter for 2 years? Thanks, that's from a new poll eligible.
Well, I'm just responding to somebody who said they don't even know who I am down there, which is just totally false.
How long did you live there?
2 years.
How'd you like it?
Love the city. Hated the job, but love the city.
What was the gig? Besides tee starter.
No, I co-hosted. Well, I was brought down there to co-host and produce the sports reporters and do a golf show. It was like 2 days before I was supposed to start that. They informed me I was also co-hosting and running the board for the morning news talk show at 6 a.m., which I knew nothing about. So I did that. And then they made me do a trivia show, and they just threw all this other stuff at me. But as far as the golf courses were great. I was a member at Springfield Country Club.
There are a lot of good ones down there.
Played Ledgestone quite a bit. I was asked to do a lot of things. They had the Pinnacle Long Drive. Was paired with Jason Zubak. They asked me to come down and be a celebrity in that.
Look at Doug as this goes on.
Open a lot of supermarkets and things like that. And if
Open a lot of supermarkets.
Well, it's sponsored by supermarkets.
Yeah.
To be
You're
honest,
like cutting the tape at new
Yeah,
supermarkets.
it's a supermarket or
Holy heck,
a new
that's
nightclub, a new restaurant. Is Iggy coming down to do this? And
That's
Ned got upset because he used to do that, and then he was shoved to the side for me. There was a
he
couple
was shoved to the side for you.
There was a couple of strip joints there that if a feature would come in, Iggy would be there to introduce her. And
From grocery stores to girls. Ken Strode is available.
pretty much all of it.
Yeah, nothing. He says no to nothing.
So now we'll see because if they've gotten word of my disdain for the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame and who goes into that thing, I may not have any pull with them anymore. But I'm not sure anybody listens to this show down there. So
Now, why is the Hall of Fame on your bad side?
Well, the people that go in there. I mean, they put the sign guy in there.
The sign guy.
The guy who holds the signs of the Cardinals game. He's in there. Marty Prather. They put a girl who took tickets, who gave your media credentials at the Price Cutter Charity Championship. She was in charge of handing your credentials. She was put in this year.
Now, how do you keep up with all this?
The Price Cutters Charity Championship.
That's the name of the tournament. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the supermarket down there.
That's so
Price
good.
Cutter. No, I get releases on who's going in, and I see it posted someplace that this year's inductees. And I only saw Scott Purrier, who I did the show with Ned Reynolds. Scott Purrier, who wrote for the News Leader. Nice guy. Like working with him. He congratulated this girl. She used to hand me my media credential every year at the Price Cutter. Congratulations on going in the Missouri Sports Hall. I mean,
that was her only accomplishment.
Here you go.
Wow.
That's getting you in the hall. I mean, come on. So I just kind of poo-pooed it. And I said, if I go in, I won't accept.
Oh, you mean if they ask you to become a member of the Hall of Fame?
I won't go in, no.
Do you think you'll get the nod?
Not now. If they hear all this.
Repop, do you?
I think
now.
I'll go ahead and repop.
No, I mean, they want you, they put people in that will bring tons of people. Like this ticket taker. I'm sure she brought a whole family, so that's 10 tickets they sold. And it all started when Claves went in, and I kind of I was actually kidding.
Here we go, Doug.
When I said,
here we go.
I said, Jay was talking about Claves going in, and I said, I must have missed my invite. Kiddingly, like I'm not going to go anyway. And then like the last minute, Jay goes, yeah, Claves got a ticket for you. You're sitting at our table. So the thing's tonight. And you're telling me that I got a ticket, and Claves, I left you that ticket a week ago. No, you didn't. So then he got upset I didn't show up, and he's on the air saying,
carrot cake.
So I don't know if it's a running gag or if he's really upset that I didn't go. I don't know. I had no intention of going. So now we got into the whole Missouri Sports Hall of Fame thing, how it's a joke anyway, but Claves deserves to be in. But
So you'd turn it down if they came to you?
yeah, because I couldn't find 10 people to go. I wouldn't ask them, you want to spend some money to come watch me go into this thing? No, I wouldn't do that.
I think the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame needs to call his bluff. I think that's what we need to see happen. Iggy needs to go in.
Would you go in the broadcast wing, or would you go?
Bowling wing?
They don't even have a wing. They don't have a wing.
What do you mean? They don't have it separated?
What wing did the media credential
well, I don't know.
go
Payne
into?
Stewart's probably in there.
Yeah, the Price
Probably in
Cutter
the
girl
sporting.
needs to be right in front. You know, that she's
Yeah,
used
with
to, you know.
Hialeah 64 track team in. All 48 players went in. They're going to bring 190 people for their tables.
Do the uprights, but front got a
They do.
tickling timeout.
More the
Oh,
merrier.
wow, that one got jacked up.
I'll make a call for you today.
Guys, go figure. Iggy, quote-unquote, running Springfield for a few years was actually Iggy being the only AM radio guy with an afternoon free to fill out a foursome and be the poor sap who had to sit out in front of a shop and save on his Saturday morning for live hits at the top of the hour. That's from Justin, and he is in Columbia.
Well, Jock 98.7 was a 100,000 watt FM station, so. Yeah. They made me do everything down there, and then they took my salary away and wanted to give me an hourly.
Doug, that's usually called a termination.
And
I mean, theoretically, there's a termination.
I got back from Jamaica, my 2-week vacation, and they informed me that I wasn't getting paid for my vacation because I filled out my request a day late. So they told me that when I got back, and they said, and we decided that, you're really not doing what we're paying you for, so we're just going to cut your salary. You're going to be an hourly employee. I said, look, I'm doing more than you're actually paying me for. So that's when I just said I'm getting myself fired, and I'll collect unemployment for 6 months and go back home. And that's what I did. But I would have to run the board for the Imus in the Morning program. Board op, 6 o'clock in the morning. He's sitting there running the board for Imus. And we didn't sell anything. There were no commercials. So when he would take a break, we'd play like the best of Imus. And I'd say, and I would take over. I said, you know what? I'd open the mic and I'd say, I'm not playing this crap. What do you want to hear? I'm going to play some Moody Blues. I would just play music.
Yeah.
It took him 3 weeks to get wind of what I was doing. What are you doing? You're making fun of Imus? I said, I've been doing it for 3 weeks. It's taking this long to figure out I'm playing music on your station?
4 days ago, you were out on a golf course with Matt Fitzpatrick, Will Zalatoris, and Scotty Scheffler as they competed for the U.S. Open.
Look at me now.
And now you're hearing stories of
You're with the real
the late 1990s, early 2000s in Springfield radio.
Price cutter champion. I still can't get over the name of the.
It's truly the name, though. It really is. It's not a joke.
It's
so
like
perfect,
the Piggly
man.
Wiggly of Springfield.
Guys, is this real? What am I listening to? Thank you. That's from Weddington.
Doug, you can take back. Take your mic.
Terribly real.
I just think the worst part about any job is when they take your salary away.
Usually.
That's usually the last straw for me.
I'm on salary and I went to hourly wage.
Okay.
Michael, any thoughts?
I just really appreciate you guys having me in so I could witness this in the first row.
The main point you need to leave here with is Iggy should be in that damn Hall of Fame.
I'm shocked that you're not. I mean,
Oh, God.
The Tales of Commander McBride.
Great work, Welly, and making the Palace on Ballast proud. Speaking of that, can you settle this? Britt says he's the best out of D-World. Clearly he's high. Who's the best Spartan stroke shaver? That's from B Money.
ever to come out of DeSmet?
Doug, yes.
Frank Cusimano.
As a golfer?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, Frank excelled on the basketball court, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I mean, Scotty Fan was awfully good. I mean, I think nobody really. I might have been the only one that turned pro. I'm trying to think who else. Britt is certainly talented, still is. Ryan Blackley was very good. He was a state champion.
Blackley.
He was a state champion. I have to give it to Blackley because he was the state champ. He was the only one to win. Okay. And there was a guy back in the 80s named Todd Tuminia. Do you remember him, Doug? Do you remember him?
Yeah, I knew a kid named Todd Tuminia, but this is a different Todd Tuminia, I think.
Yeah, he was a great golfer. He played like in the Matt Kopsky, Mike Shanahan Jr. Time. But some pretty good Spartan golfers for sure.
D-World.
Yeah.
Did you try to get into St. Louis U High, or you settled for DeSmet?
I went to St. Louis U High for 1 year.
Oh,
had enough. He's on the same plane as my brother Danny.
Couldn't make the team.
I was excused for unruly behavior.
Oh no! I didn't mean to bring up old wounds.
No. It was the best thing that ever happened.
What'd you do?
Well, there was a few things. It all kind of started towards the end of basketball season when I was deemed ineligible because I had received a D in the film class with Mr. Cummings, if you remember him.
Mr. Cummings, yes, I do.
I got a D, and so I became ineligible. I was playing basketball on the freshman team at that time for Gary Kornfeld, who's a tremendous gentleman.
Oh, loyal listener of the program and prides himself on having cut me from the freshman basketball.
Well, he probably should have cut you.
No! Tim got cut from football, and he was like 5'1", 87 pounds.
No, 5'2", 100.
5'2",
That's
100.
a perfect
and they
Mike.
Thank you.
They cut him. It's all politics.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Linebacker, man.
Kornfeld comes
that's a
to
Mike
me.
linebacker.
Yeah, Kornfeld comes to me after I was deemed ineligible. He goes, "Hey, it says here you got a D in film." I said, "I think that's true." He goes, "Well, what are you doing in there?" I said, "Well, I'm going to sleep." He said, "So you just go in there and you just go to sleep?" I said, "Yeah, it's dark. There's always movies on. I put my head on the desk and I go to bed."
Just one D knocks you out of sports there?
Well, it kept me, my grade point average, went under the Mendoza
threshold.
line.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I was able to, finish out the year. But then, if memory serves, I think on the last day of the year, I was caught in a confidence scheme that had to do with cheating on a computer test.
Oh, no.
Yes. And then, I was able to leave there and went to DeSmet, and it might have been the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah, for golf, for sure.
Sure, for golf and many other things as well.
Yeah.
But certainly, great respect for St. Louis U High. I have a lot of friends that went there, and I also too. It was very hard academically. I was not by any stretch a brainiac, so I struggled with the academics. So it was going to be a challenge for me if I stayed there anyway.
Okay. All right, and Kirkwood's out of the question, I guess.
Pioneer
I
proud.
think I don't know if I would have been Kirkwood. I think I might have been Webster.
Nice statesman.
Oh, really?
I think so, depending upon, or I don't know what the dividing line is.
Doug, where's the dividing line?
Is it Berry Road?
I think that's about it.
I think that probably is right.
Yeah, that's
now that you
probably
say
it.
that. I
So
wouldn't have known.
my parents' house was just west of Berry Road.
Just
maybe
west.
maybe I would be Kirkwood.
Yeah, I think so. Glendale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of by the
that's Kirkwood.
12th, near the 12th tee at Algonquin, if you're familiar.
Oh, I think I've been pulled over
That
by
feels like Webster there.
They thought I was stealing a charcoal grill.
Yeah. That feels
Good
more like
course.
Webster. So you
Could
had
be.
no choice. You had to get out of that public school system. You can't go to Webster.
Yeah. I mean, I got lucky because when I made the switch over to DeSmet, my dad brought me over to DeSmet, and there was a priest there named Father Bailey. I walked in his office, and Father Bailey said, "Would you like to go to school here, son?" I said, "Yes, sir, I would." He goes, "Okay, your schedule's in the next room." And I found out later that day, my dad, that was my dad's high school golf coach at St. Louis U High.
Oh, was
So that kind of helped the, the
Greased
pro-
the skids a little bit.
No question.
Yeah.
Yeah, very lucky.
Look at that, Doug. And then it all happened at D
Yeah.
World. I like that.
guess
D
so.
World.
And
The
you like
Palace
DeSmet.
on Ballas.
Yeah,
yes.
I've heard it say.
Of course, I love it. It's great. It was great. It was fun.
Yeah, I bet.
And you learned about the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame here today. In addition to sharing stories of the U.S. Open. Probably not something you anticipated, but what a wonderful reward for coming into the studio.
And just how crooked that whole Hall of Fame is.
Boy, it's a real racket.
It is. I'm sorry you've had to live with this, Iggy.
Boy, they are
I can
not.
see the look on your face.
they
You're
are
still
not-
down about
I'll
it.
tell you what, they are not happy. The first 50 minutes of this segment were fantastic. Doug, take your mic back. God, this reptile is awful. And then there's a bunch of police cars with sirens in there.
Well, I felt like once is enough. This.
I don't have headsets on. I couldn't hear him anyway.
Oh, you're fine.
All right, Michael, wonderful to see you. We ought to get out there and shave strokes. What are you hitting, the 2-iron off the tee, I assume?
We'll be hitting some 2-irons, I'm sure. These might have a chance to play these next few days.
Oh, I'm taking Jameson out there today, 320.
Yeah?
If you want to, there's some
Okay.
spots available if you're interested.
I could keep
me
that in mind.
Me and Digger.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
There won't be any wagering, will there?
There will be wagering.
Never with Digger.
There will be wagering.
I love it. I hope that the hat can make the Hall of Fame because.
Oh yes, what a wonderful hat!
It really was. It fit well. You know, it went with all the outfits. And thanks again to Bertarelli Cutlery and.
Engineer Design Facilities, right?
Yeah, they were both outstanding with their help with the shirts and all that kind of thing. So we
God
really
bless
appreciate all
America.
the support from the TMA family.
Amen. Thank you so much, Michael Wellington, coming in and telling us about the U.S. Open. But really, the bigger gift was learning about the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame.
Amen.
This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com. Man, Ryan, the home buying market is competitive as all get out right now.
You need every leg up you can get. You need every advantage you can get. And that's what we give you at thehomeloanexpert.com. We have a 10-day closing guarantee. That's right, 10 days. If that doesn't make your offer stand out, not sure what will. We also have lower rates, over a quarter point lower than the national average. We don't just talk about low rates, we have them. And at thehomeloanexpert.com, we have programs for almost anybody. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? Thehomeloanexpert.com.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Tim McKernan, once a young boy attending St. Gabriel's in South City, with big league dreams and a lopsided head. But that head was full of hair back then, so you couldn't tell much. Anyway, who knew he would someday return to St. Gabriel's triumphantly as the host of a kick-butt trivia night that's all about the show he eventually created and finally brought to the big leagues. HD2 Radio. It's the first ever TMA Trivia Night, July 23rd at St. Gabe's. It's trivia all about the morning after. So if you know about Iggy's weirdo Hito obsession, or maybe how many days the dude from the poor part of whatever city has been suspended by Doug or whatever, this thing's right up your alley. Tables of 8 are on sale now. Ticket price includes food from Salt and Smoke and beer from the beer sponsor to be named later, plus late night food from Uncle Leo's Pizza. A portion of ticket proceeds will go to Friends of Kids with Cancer. TMA Trivia Night. Get more details at TMASTL.com. So the stupid corporate contest is still going on. App Madness. And we're still not in the lead against the other big-time FM stations. Let's see, the points in first, and even Casey and that weird arch station is ahead of us. Jesus. So we're upping the stakes. Get the TMA app, sign up for an account, log into that account, and you'll get a keyword which you can use to enter to win the Week 3 prize. Tickets to Point Fest? Sit with Iggy and learn at the rescheduled Point Fest September 24th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Nope, I'm not doing it. I work at Casey. I'm helping Casey win App Madness. I do not wish to go to Point Fest with any of you or with Iggy, and I'm appalled that I'm even in this promo right now. So, no, I will not be sitting with you and Iggy at Point Fest. Good luck with your App Madness, jerks.
Featuring Papa Roach, Highly Suspect, Hailstorm, The Struts, and more. Once you have the TMA app and log into your account, you'll get a keyword. Use that keyword to enter the contest. Help us beat the point by winning Point Fest tickets. Find out more at tmastl.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com, and we got two local companies coming together.
That's right. You know, we're asked quite a bit, Tam, like, hey, who should I use for a mover? We're like, I don't know, use Google, go find a good mover. But we wanted to do better for our clients. We wanted to put a partnership together. So we researched all the movers. Guess who was the best? 2 Men and a Truck.
Oh.
We love this partnership with 2 Men and a Truck. When you close on your home loan at thehomeloanexpert.com, we will give you a $500 credit towards your moving expenses using 2 Men and a Truck. That's a winner right there. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
You gotta be on acid to understand what's going on this show.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2,
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Ultra Studios here on this Wednesday. Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. I hear whistles. Is that Jackson? Nurse? Is that my nurse?
Yeah, I probably got a little too hot, so I'll turn them down a little bit.
Wonderful to have Michael Wellington in regaling us with stories. A lot to work with here on the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day today. You've been given material. What you do with that material, well, Doug, that's up to the emailer.
Yeah, it's always on you.
It was almost too much material. That you could have taken that and spread it out through a 2-week show span.
Yeah. Wellington didn't know what to do.
He looked overwhelmed.
He did. That's exactly the way.
He didn't even know who Ned Reynolds is.
That was one of the best drops. I can't wait to cut that today. Yeah. One of the best drops we will ever have. I have no idea.
Man's a legend in Springfield local news.
Do you lose a little respect for Wellington that he's fresh off the U.S. Open and he didn't know what the Grint is?
Oh, absolutely.
His
that
eyes,
and the Ned Reynolds thing, I wish I'd known that right up front.
He perked up about the Grint. Like, he was shocked that there is an alternative free app.
Yeah. And this D in film class in St. Louis U, I mean, it just colors the world a little differently for me.
Things are a little different this morning. You can text in 314-881-TMA5. That's how you can get involved in the show. Engineered, Designed, Facilities. EDF. That is how you can get involved. 314-881-TMA5 or call in to the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines and email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. And if you are feeling a little sluggish lately and you think there might be something just off, well, there may be a reason for it. That could be a testosterone situation, and you can get that tended to with Mentality. Check out Mentality today at lowtusa.com. Go to lowtusa.com. They're FDA-approved testosterone treatment facilities here in the St. Louis area with board-certified physicians who will work with most insurance. If you're dealing with low energy, you're dealing with some weight gain, not feeling like you're putting on as much muscle as you used to when you're working out, if you're tired all the time, these can be signs of low testosterone. Find out what the situation is with like a 15-minute visit to one of the Mentality facilities. I did it, and it was so easy. Consultants were great. It's lowtusa.com. That's Mentality. Check out lowtusa.com. Be the very best for your family and yourself by having more energy and a better attitude. Be the very best for your wife and kids, and you can do so with Mentality. lowtusa.com. For our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day, the prize today is a cap from Design Air, one of those camo caps you saw Adam Wainwright wearing in the dugout last week before a Cardinal game. That's what you get for winning the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. We're heading down the stretch for the month of June, and Brian Henshin, JV golf coach in Tunnels, 12,000, all surging, but they only have 2 wins, so anybody is still alive. Timmy Tom, Don Hoffman, Jackson's guy. It's fun to see people competing at a high level. I feel like people always email in better during the summer, Doug. Have you tracked
Why is
that at
that?
all?
No, not in the least.
Yeah, school's out.
So there's more people listening?
Yeah, just more time to write poetically.
Okay. I figured the cold weather would keep him inside more. Let him type a little bit.
That makes sense.
Flip Wilson's now mad.
What's he mad about?
The Grint is not free, you dummy. It costs $40 a year to have a gin through the app and uses the same system as a normal gin. I'm just going to come out and say it. You guys are gin snobs and elitists. That's Flip Wilson.
So, Grint, so worse app, hardly any tournament takes it, and it's more expensive than gin? Cool.
Just I can't speak to the Grint. I just don't have it. I'm not anti-Grint. I'm just not aware of it. Similar to Wellington. I wasn't aware of it until we put the Fan Page Club Championship together this year and was greeted with hostility, candidly.
Were you?
I mean, it's similar to like comparing like ABC to Bailey's. I mean, yes, they technically do the same thing, but if you actually try to work both, I mean, one works and one doesn't.
I like the shirt, though.
No, and the guy was great who we played with the
Was
first
it Doug
day.
Slugosler?
No,
He's
the
a great
first
guy.
day of the Fan Page Club Championship.
Oh.
So it was one of the, and he was a great guy, super nice. And yeah, he had his wife does screen printing of some kind.
Was she made the Grint shirt?
Yeah, those are actually made. So in that fabric, cool. So I liked it.
Put it this way: if I would have sent in a Grint to the member guest, I wouldn't have gotten in.
That is correct.
Yeah. So that's all you need to know.
Doug, that's all you need to know.
It is a mic drop.
It's not accepted.
It's all about that Westboro member guest.
It's not
Everything
accepted
goes
by
back to it.
reputable organizations. It's not accepted.
Everything goes back.
Of course, if I had a Grint, I'd have probably been a 20. We might have won some more matches.
Everything going on in the world, the thing we're worried about is gin or Grint.
We're not worried about it.
Well, we've talked about it for about 3 hours.
We have normal handicaps.
I don't.
Well, you don't play enough to even need one.
No, I don't think I'll ever have one.
I only have one for Fan Page Club Championship. And if I'm
Down to the
invited,
final 8.
and if I'm invited to a member guest, there's no reason I have one.
Well, you'll probably get a lot of more invites now. What with this Hall of Fame thing?
Well, I think a lot of those players saw me in the par 3 shootout. And if Tim doesn't want me next year, I'm sure Bo House or some people will probably call me. You interested?
Probably almost everyone will call you.
This is tough.
You know, maybe Stoles.
You'll have the luxury of being very picky.
I would short that.
Yeah, I would too.
He would not be texting. I don't think.
Maybe Digger.
Digger Phelps.
I would also short that play.
I'll short anybody invited me other than you.
It's Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Catch the game and a pint at one of the 2 locations in Sunset Hills and downtown. If you missed it, did a 2.5-hour podcast from literally the inception of the morning grind, which goes back to a Cardinal playoff series way before the show even started. And in not all of the stories, but a lot of the stories that went from the very beginning to the very end, as we then left to go to 1380 ESPN. So if you are a TMA junkie, Jackson said he thought people would really enjoy it. James Carlton texted me this morning. He loved it. So take a listen. That's up for you on the podcast feed, as will be Pepper and Jeannie. What do you boys got today on Pepper and Jeannie?
Today we're going to talk about things that have changed in our lifetimes over the last 10, 20 years.
What's changed?
A lot of things.
It'll be a shorter one today. I do have a meeting with the great Tom Schmidt at 10:30, cutting up some more commercial spots for old Tom.
Oh.
So we'll do it right after the show. It'll be up there before 10:30, so you'll be able to listen to it and enjoy it earlier than normal.
Okay.
So excited about doing another program. Me and Iggy, I think, are on second month.
Second month of Pepper and Jeannie.
I think so, Iggy. I can't.
I don't know.
I think we're
Lost track.
Yeah. Nice. Well, we're dedicated.
We're different ages, so things have changed over the last 10, 20 years.
Nice.
Like, you know, I remember I would pick up hitchhikers. Can't do that anymore.
Not in the last 10 years. You got to go back
20,
probably.
well, over a period. We're not going to narrow it down to 10, 20. Just things have changed in our lifetime.
I don't think I've seen a hitchhiker in 10 years.
Well, no. I remember picking up a hitchhiker once and asked where they were going. They were going kind of the same direction I was going, so I said, yeah, get in.
Well, all murderers are
And
yeah,
we pull up at a stop sign. The guy goes, aren't you afraid that it might be a serial killer? And I said, well, the odds of having 2 serial killers in one car is kind of small, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
And he got out of the car and ran.
Oh, he didn't get out of the car and ran.
You really got to show your
joke.
dominance early, and I like the fact that Iggy did that.
That was a bit. Our sketch? I'm not sure.
That was a little sketch.
Fun sketch, though.
I remember seeing girls hitchhiking.
Oh, yeah. Well, girls always got picked up.
Yeah. Can you imagine a girl hitchhiking today? It's like a teenage girl hitchhiking?
No, you can't.
It's just preposterous, the idea of it even. And yet they'll hop in an Uber without even a second thought. What's the difference?
Well, I think those Uber drivers are kind of checked out and vetted.
Not enough of them because there have been incidents.
Well, those are some of the things we'll talk about today.
Okay.
Thanks, Pepper and Jeannie. Coming up on Balloon Party. Jackson and I will take the high hard one. It's just what's going to happen.
Come and get your whooping.
The Cardinals won.
They did.
Yeah. Norman had a big night. I had him on the bench in fantasy baseball. Yeah. I didn't really like the matchup. He only had 4 hits and a couple home runs.
Four ribbies.
Had him on the bench.
I had Carpenter last week on the bench, that 2 home run, 7 RBI game. Wouldn't have helped the matchup. Nonetheless, though, still disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with
Bleeding anuses are going up against the Southside Seamen. That's a big. Do you feel like you're going down to Tuscaloosa to take on Nick Saban when you go up against the Southside Seamen?
I had a good start. Usually my offense is stagnant. So I'm not saying it's going to be competitive. I'm not saying I have a chance, but you're a weekend. I look at your lineups often and your matchups quite a bit.
Doug, do you ever study my lineups? And
no.
matchups?
And your Thursday to Sunday, Tim, it's like being at the Masters. So you have a great game plan in terms of who you pick up.
How about worry about your own team?
Well,
you can't control what the other guy does. Just worry about your own club.
I'm 3-7.
Is anyone worried that the Sauce Bosses are on a 5-game win streak?
And I need the soft boss to get another one.
I want the Sauce Bosses. Just let it be on the record. I want the Sauce Bosses.
See, I like this competitiveness.
I want the Sauce Bosses.
James
I don't
Swanson.
respect the Sauce Bosses, and I want the Sauce because I believe the Southside Seamen were positioned to go undefeated this year, and Jackson ruined it for me. And so I am on a mission. I'm going after the Sauce Bosses. Meanwhile, producer Joe and the Plowhawk are battling it out in the basement.
Yeah.
They're battling relegation.
I don't really have much to say. He is in last, but he's only a half game behind me, so it's not as if I'm slaughtering him. But he is in. Oh,
He's got nowhere to go but up.
Nope, we're tied actually. He's not in the basement. We're right there in the cuck area, 12th and 13th.
Well, he's so busy commissioning that he doesn't worry about his lineup.
He'll backdoor his way in. Trust me on that.
How about this text? I still think, I don't know, recalling this person texted this in before, and according to the text history, has never texted it in. I still think Wellington would be a great fit as a fill-in when one of you is out during the winter months. That's from the 618. I'd love having Wellington in.
We had his own show there for a while.
Nick and the Badger.
Right.
With producer Joe and Charlie Marlowe.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember which one was during producer Joe's darker time. Either it was...
Take your pick.
I knew Iggy would have something for that, but I think it was 2012 with Jennings and Sarah Bruce. I think that was during a darker time for producer Joe. And he was bantier than normal at that time.
Yeah.
But maybe it was during Nick and the Badger. I don't know. I think it was the 1 to 3 show with Jennings and Sarah Bruce. Sarah Bruce, super talented, too.
Love Sarah Bruce.
Love Jennings, love Sarah Bruce, love producer Joe. Love Wellington, love Charlie. Doug, love.
That was when I first started in radio with the 1380 closet there. And that was when I first met, obviously Estepari, Sarah Bruce, you had Jay.
Z-Man.
I don't think I met the Z-Man.
The Z-Man.
The weird thing is I never met TMA and the boys, which was super crazy how...
What time were you in?
I did variations of kind of that, super utility guy in terms of, I would do...
Did they have a board out for that station, or the posts have to run the boards?
No, I ran the board for, the weekend programming. Certainly interesting. But yeah, I can't believe it. We never... The first time I met you was when I was
920. That's the first time I remember it.
Yeah. The first time I ever see you guys.
Yeah.
Heard about you guys a lot.
And you were hired by Bert, right? Bert, the owner of 920.
Yeah, and I was actually the fill-in guy when they were trying to hire a full-time guy, because I wasn't on that, I was just doing part-times, weekends, and whatnot. So yeah, I love that story because I backdoored my way in it. Pretty much, just kind of a fill-in guy when I think Nani was.
The nonling.
Yeah, going back to school. Super nice guy.
He made a mistake, Doug, to get out of radio and go become a lawyer.
I follow him on Facebook. I don't think he made any mistakes.
Big miss.
Him and his
Swing
girl
and a
look
miss.
just happy and just fine with their schedules.
I think his heart was in the right place.
Love Namzi.
Hey, we have the Mug and Ass Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown coming up here in a matter of moments, and then we have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Speaking of career changes, we have a sponsor here on this program. If you are not happy with your career, you can be in the world of IT in a matter of months with Centric. The summer heat is here, and that makes it the perfect time to train for a new career, one that gets you out of the weather and into a career you will love, IT. And Centric can train you for that career in IT in just 4 months. Want a career with unlimited opportunity? That's IT. Want a career where you can work from home? That's IT. Want a career where you don't give an F whether it rains or it's sunny and 99 degrees? That's IT. And Centric can make that happen for you, even if you have no IT experience. If you are not happy with your job, call Patrick Nealon at Centric Training today. He'll walk you through Centric's hands-on program and show you how they help get you started in your new IT career. And then the only time you'll have to worry about the weather is when you have baseball tickets. Call 314-450-4714 or go to centric.com/STL. That's centric.com, CENTRIQ.com/STL. Technology is the future of St. Louis. Centric can make it your future. And Stratum Structural Systems. When it is this hot, you can be dealing with some foundation issues. Make sure you tend to it with Stratum Structural Systems and Matt Ford and Brett Groman. Stratum Structural Systems, online at stratumrepair.com, 314-620-8153, known for their integrity and authority with over 5 decades of combined structural experience in basement waterproofing and foundation repair. I had a waterproofing situation. Talked to my home builder, and I said, hey, who do you recommend when you have a situation like this? He goes, oh, everybody in our industry knows that you work with Matt and Brett at Stratum. I go, that's great. I'm going to call them. And my goodness, it ended in a matter of a day. They were over. It was fixed. And I haven't had to think about it since. When you let them know you're a TMA listener, you get $100 off your repair project, 314-620-8153. Call them and let them know you're a TMA listener, $100 off your repair project with Stratum. StratumRepair.com. Think local. Think Stratum. Think about it. Doug, it's off to the Travelers we go.
Okay.
You've just won a major. Were you thinking about withdrawing this week because you're off the intensity of winning your major?
I may. Yeah, it's going to be hard to come back emotionally from that kind of a victory.
Nice.
But pretty much all the emotion I spend is when I just reach in and pick the box.
Yeah,
I don't pay attention to it until Monday and we see who won.
Nice.
So I'll start picking guys now?
Yeah, I guess so. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, off to, where are we? Are we in Connecticut? Are we in New Hampshire? Are we in
Connecticut.
Texas? Perfect.
Right outside New Haven, I believe.
Jason Kokrak.
Not a bad pick.
How come he hasn't gone to the LIV yet? I thought he was like one of the LIV guys for sure.
Yeah, he was like one of the first guys that said he was going. Maybe they don't want him. Maybe I got a pen over there.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
I gotta write your names down.
What's his price, Doug?
$8,000.
That's not terrible. Good start.
That's not bad, I guess.
Okay.
Just give us the names. That's all you need to do.
Tell me what to do.
It's 9:42 already. You're not going to be able to go into long, drawn-out explanations.
Yeah, I got a couple of 6s and a couple of 7s here. So.
Okay, who are they?
We'll go with my lowest price player. Been playing great lately. He's a terrible weekend player.
Yeah,
I mean, just terrible.
Good player.
Terrible, but he's played well here 3 of the last 4 years.
Harold Bar on the third day?
What's the name?
I'm going to go with Bo Hostler.
Hostler.
Wow, what a value he was at the U.S. Open. He was priced at like $6,200, and I thought, what the hell's going on?
Yes,
I missed it.
He's only 69 now.
God.
Bo Hostler.
Kevin Kisner.
Boy,
Second week in a row, you barstool.
Wow, you barstooled him.
Well,
Okay.
this is a short course, so he should play well.
Sure.
Let's see, I got another 7,000. 7,200, another guy who plays well here, but he's hit and miss. I mean, he's either top 10
Who
or
is it?
DFL. Kevin Streelman.
Streelman.
The Duke product.
Okay. All right. I'll just reach in and pull another name. Okay.
You got a bunch of K's here.
Jason Day.
You're going to have to start worrying about the cap here, I think.
He's only 8,100.
Oh, I think he's good. He's going to grab a terrible player, I'm sure.
He's fine.
Well, for now. We'll stay at 7,000s.
Okay,
This
who
is
you
just,
got?
I'm just going by.
Give us a name.
I'm just going by
Go ahead, give us a name.
playing well coming into this. Brennan Steele.
Okay.
77. I got a feeling he's going to be chalky.
Like, do you feel like Steele's going to be...
I don't know who's going to be chalky and who's not going to be chalky.
Any average right now with the...
I haven't pulled it up. I don't have it in front of me.
Oh.
No, he's
You're
77.
talking about ownership projections, right?
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
See what it's doing. I'll see what it's doing.
Aaron Wise.
Oh, wow.
Now you're going to have to look at the cap.
He's only 8,800.
Yeah, well, that's
Doug's going
four.
with the balanced, right? You decided to go balanced and not top heavy this
Just
week. That's
pulling
interesting.
blindly names
That's
out.
4 you got in the 8s already.
He's got his
No,
average
Kisner's
remaining player
seven.
salary is 8,800.
Really?
Kisner's 7,500.
So he's safe. Good job, Doug.
I thought Kisner would be higher.
7,500.
Well, they don't think he can do
Have
it.
you got another name for us?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 left, and now we're going into the 9s and 10s.
Brendan Steele is 17.88%.
Yeah, I thought it'd be chalky. I got him at 7,700 too. A guy that I'll play every week. I'll keep playing him every week. He's going to be the
Mito Pereira,
Rookie of the Year. Him and Cam Young are fighting out. I'm going to go
Who
with
would it be?
Davis Riley.
Davis Riley. Okay.
Well, he must be expensive this week. I haven't seen him owned.
8,900.
Okay.
Is your last one, Doug?
Two more. Fifth. Old Sam Burns.
Yeah, now you're going to have to
Now you might have a
7,200 or below.
Burns
You can
at
do it.
7,200.
Okay. He's
No, I'm saying
10,400.
He can pick anyone 7,200.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot a guy in the 8.6s. Guy that just played. This guy owns this course.
Who owns it?
He owns the course.
He
And
doesn't.
And he had a nice, he had a nice run at the U.S. Open last week. I'm going to go with Brian Harmon.
Okay, Brian.
Oh, he owns the course.
Doug, we're looking
He acquired it with a VC.
Yeah, I think he's 10
Okay.
for 10 and cuts made there. And
7,200 or below.
yeah, good luck.
Well, there's one right there. Alex Smalley.
Alex
Good job, Doug.
Smalley.
That's a good roster.
Only 200 left, so Doug.
It's really not bad.
I kind of like
Except
that.
for
I remember
That's
Roy
a sharp
Smalley.
roster. What did you prioritize? Strokes gained?
Just whatever I could reach. Whatever I could reach into the box.
Sam
Whatever-
Bird's a good
Basically what
pick.
was on top.
my final pick, I don't like the way he's playing coming in.
Well, then no picky.
Yeah, but this is going to be a good one.
This is going to be the excuse.
Played a little bit better at the U.S. Open last week, but here's another guy that just excels at this course, Patrick Cantley.
Ooh, has he been decent this year? I mean, he had such a run there at
Yeah,
that.
he's off and on. Inconsistent, I would say.
Okay, there
the
you
best
go.
player in the
You
world.
get some ball strikers there, did you?
I did. I like my lineup.
Okay, well, you should, because you just picked it.
All 6 should make the cut, Doug.
No, I'm not going to go that far. Because I got Hostler in there. Hostler can...
Bo Hostler. Bo House.
He's been playing so well lately, though.
All right. Well, you never know. That's the whole...
Just get to the
Point that we
weekend,
made
buddy.
here,
It's not,
you
then you
never
can
know.
fall apart like you do every weekend, but get there. I'd have had 5 make the
Not
cut
bad.
last week if they didn't water those greens.
Hey, trivia night, TMA STL. The tickets are in a spot where you can now buy individual or 2 or 3 or 4, and you don't have to buy a table. So that was tended to by Jesse, I believe, on Monday. So if you just want to buy 2, now you're not in control of who you sit with, if that's the case. But if you buy a table, you are, and then everybody can Venmo each other. So Trivia Night tickets available at tmastl.com. $85 includes all of your beer, includes all of your salt and smoke, and includes all of your Uncle Leo's. It is the TMA Trivia Night at St. Gabriel's on July 23rd. And if you would like to buy an individual ticket or buy 2 tickets or 3 tickets or 4 tickets or 5 tickets or 6 tickets, you can now do that. I am told tmastl.com and check it out. And sources tell me we might have, Doug, hashtag surprises.
Oh, like what sort of
Hashtag
surprises?
I can't at the moment
It's a
because it's
surprise.
not exactly.
Okay.
But I know that there is there have been some things that have been being worked on, but for timing of getting the tickets on sale. So
I may sign.
That's the surprise.
that was not one I was aware of.
Yeah, we haven't decided that yet. I may not.
And that's the surprise. Because you get there, no, he's not signing. Okay, surprise, he's
That's
not
what's
signing.
fun about the surprise.
I guess.
That'd be a downer.
You've been turned down. People come with their autograph books, and you'll say,
Not tonight.
And that's
Tim,
your
can we-
surprise.
Tim, can we get an accuracy number on those projections you give? That's from Wooden Shoe 02. I don't know. What do you think? I'm making them up? I'm reading them.
Why are you making them up?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to
What's
say.
the upside to
I don't know what
making
kind of
them
guy
up?
would make those up.
You would like to look at any of them? Or take a look?
Yeah. I mean, they may change before
they
tomorrow,
change.
but that's what they projection is. That's what it's called, projection.
Yeah, sure.
It's projection. So it's not like it is done by a formula. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Okay.
Hey, dear diary, I'm between a rock and a hard place, and I don't know what to do. I met a cute boy, but it could very well ruin me. You were in there for quite a while, said the portly gentleman, flirting with me as I left the Starbucks bathroom on Grand. He knew that I was cooking up some fresh bowel lasagna, and like a kid with a cake mix, he couldn't wait to lick the bowl.
No.
But somehow I knew that I recognized this porcelain savant. It was to Kevin, the opposition running for president of our condo association against my wife, Hugo. To Kevin has been putting up flyers around the complex, touting his judo skills and willingness to do anything for a vote. In fact, we open mouth kissed at the last board meeting.
Oh.
But we were both wearing luchador masks, so he didn't know it was me. Do I follow my head, which tells me to stay with Hugo and continue down our path we've walked together? Or do I follow my heart, cut open a packet of hot dogs, and squeeze that juice all over to Kevin's backside while he shows me what he meant by anything for a vote? I'll return with my findings. Until tomorrow, with love, Shrimply Pibbles.
I didn't care for it. Pibbles?
Shrimply Pibbles.
Shrimply Pibbles.
It's in the prompter I read.
He's new.
Guys, Plops here. Question for those of you in the studio over 50. So, Doug and Iggy, last week I had an accident on a golf course. Let me elaborate. I'm out on a fairway and I let one rip. Just a quick toot-toot from my ass trumpet while nobody was standing near me. As you do. 5 seconds later, I start to walk and realize I've crapped my pants. Fully crapped my pants like a baby who'd eaten Taco Bell. Guys, I had to hobble a few hundred yards to the caddy shack so I could mop myself up with paper towels at the sink and then throw my underwear away. Guys, I know I'm getting a little bit older, but is this who I am now? Does just getting older mean getting ready because when it's over 90 degrees out, you're going to soil yourself on the golf course? Please advise.
Well, I don't think it happens to a lot of people. I don't think most golfers soil themselves during the round. No, I think that's just you.
I did drop
Get yourself
ass once.
regular.
Playing with Tim, I walked away from reading a puddle. Tim
That did happen.
Tim goes, "You drop ass?"
That did happen.
Yeah.
I forgot about
I
that.
wasn't thinking about it.
And did you
No, I didn't.
soil your trousers?
I didn't soil myself, no.
Plops has a follow-up. Side note, will I be asked to leave the trivia night at St. Gabe's if I soil myself, or can I stay as long as I throw my underwear and wipe myself up a bit? Never mind, I'll just call over to the school this morning and ask the pastor.
You'll be asked to leave. You will be asked to leave.
Another side note, Doug, these are two side notes. Years ago, I was working at a retail establishment. True story. Apparently, a customer crapped their pants and then took their soiled panties and rammed them up into the paper towel dispenser on the wall. Oh, Bill. So later
Why
in
do
the day,
that?
another customer accidentally pulled them out while trying to dry their hands. I still laugh about that to this day. Hey, thanks. Glad to be here, Misty Plops.
Misty Plops.
A lot of great postscripts.
Yeah, side notes. Despite that unbearable heat, I don't regret attending the Grateful Dead concert at Riverport last night. I do regret that sushi I had for lunch yesterday, though. Normally, gas station seafood isn't that bad, but the combo of heat and quick trip seafood was just too much for my bowel to contain, and I was forced to take an emergency recreational before the second song even began. Since all the stalls were full and this was an urgent evacuation, sadly I had to spray my used lunch all over the urinal.
Oh.
Used. Nice.
We don't deserve these sort of emails.
There was simply no other option. The brief cooling touch of porcelain was nice, but the obvious downside of soiling the pisser is lack of teepee, so I had to rinse my cheeks in the sink. But it wasn't a thorough cleansing. I looked like a kid who rode his bike through a mud puddle and didn't know he had muddy water spots all over his back. Again, absolutely no regrets, though. Best $350 I ever spent. It's from the JV golf coach.
Oh.
Concert wasn't that much.
JV golf coach.
Hey, guys, what are we talking about? Oh, despite the fact that I pledge undying allegiance to Tim, filleting him with praise on a daily basis, this morning I decided to old man sputter putt into the studio, give a dead-eye reptilian case the joint glance around the room, and confidently proceed before God and the disbelieving gaze of my friends and coworkers to swap his chair for a janked-out, broken piece of garbage I know doesn't work. Well, that's cool, but I just realized I'm not wearing a hat. What's that, Jackson? It's time to promote that corporate prioritized contest of ours where the prize is spending the afternoon sweating through your clothes and stewing in the juices of 15,000 poorly washed, heavily boozed strangers while I walk alongside the winner with a 1,000-yard stare, refusing to acknowledge their existence while crushing menthols, muttering some sort of unintelligible garble about spotting learn, and desperately trying to score a backstage pass for one so I can aggressively hit on a woman 1/3 my age. Well, since 101 is giving away a grand grand to their winner. Let me sweeten the pot for ours. If I can convince management to up the prize from 2 to 4 tickets, we can go ahead and turn this awkward but largely benign event into some sort of truly terrible sexual nightmare that ends with me and whatever smoke hag date I can peel away from her job playing slots at River City Casino, banging the winner and their significant other on a surprisingly spacious bed in my Maryland Heights hovel. What's that, Timmy? It's time for my live read? Well, if you are a pathetic beta cuck who can't get hard, don't be surprised that you're not a virile, throbbing specimen like me. Order some boner pills and you'll be good to go. But just remember, I don't need them because I'm a real man. Thanks. That's from Timmy Tom Tom.
Timmy Tom Tom.
Oh, that's my intention.
By the way, learn she was not listening. I texted her to ask her about this Lizzie Hale thing. And I said, hold on a second. I want to recount it, Doug, accurately. Yo, Iggy's on the air saying you said that he should interview Lizzie Hale. Can you confirm this? There are some suspicions. And he said, she said, I think I said it in a casual way, but why not? Let's make it happen. It has to be on video. That's from, it's from Learn. So there it is. Okay. I mean, look at that. And finally, morning, guys, times are tough for me right now. So I'm in the market for a 13 to 18-minute podcasting gig that pays nothing, brings in zero revenue, and is wildly inconsistent in scheduling. I know you guys are going all in on the business model, and I'd like to join you on the ground floor. I'm unreliable. My prep work is next to non-existent, and I have a large network of people chomping at the bit to not give me money to do this. If you're on the fence, I'm willing to do a Facebook Live from my cutting board-sized kitchen, cooking up nuggets and steakums to help promote the profit-negative generating project. Please advise. It's from Pockets, a nickname that just stuck. DBA. Hey, this boner ain't going to take care of itself. Podcast and bio. Please contact Woof or Lansky for public inquiry.
Oh. Pockets, a nickname that just stuck.
And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Well, Shrimply Peebles was new, and I like to encourage the newbies, but I think Timmy Tom Tom was probably the best one.
This may be the best batch we've had in a while.
I mean, the heavy hitters came out, Iggy. Doug, what a field.
Yeah. Sure.
I think I know who Tim's going to vote for, but I really think that Pockets' last couple of sentences put it over the top. I'm going to go Pockets.
That's fine, but the winner is indeed Timmy Tom Tom.
Okay.
Timmy
I
Tom
thought I gave
Tom.
Pockets a little love. I knew who the winner was going to be.
Timmy Tom Tom now has 2 on the month, Jackson. Am I correct?
Yeah.
He's only emailed in twice.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that when he shows up to the tournament, he wins the tournament.
Yeah. Tell us the same way. Tell us
Sign
2
of,
for 2.
Absolute greatness. Doug, Wooden Shoe 02 is upset about the projections for ownership and daily fantasy. The point is anyone can throw out a projection, but there has to be a confidence percentage in order to take them seriously or not. All I can tell you is there are a bunch of sites that do it, and the guy who has turned himself into a millionaire recommends this site, and I think it's like $50 per week to get the report. So I don't know. I hope that helps you.
The guy from Teotopoulos is not happy.
And I do.
$50 a week to find out how many guys are being picked on fantasy golf teams?
That's correct.
Whoa.
But I mean, if you're investing $5,000 each week, you know, the 50 is
seems
worth
like a lot on that.
Yeah, but I mean, people are paying. That's certainly other people could do it, but if they don't have a track record of success. But things change, and in the way that the guys play it who are successful is they're like, oh, I see Rory McIlroy is going to be 21.68. I think that is going to wind up being way higher than what he actually is, and so I'm going to put him on a bunch of rosters because he's going to wind up being only 12%, and I'll have an edge on the field. That's the actual thought process. It's not about the golf as much as it is about the ownership percentage. But I realize that's kind of getting into the weeds, and nobody really gives a damn.
Except for this guy.
Except Wooden Shoe 02. All right, we got to head down the hallway. We're going to get it handed to us today.
Come and get your whooping.
Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. You can text in 65780. I thought we were going to play a mic drop yesterday, so if anybody has a Juwan Howard take or dealing with their father-in-law, use the 101 ESPN app and leave a mic drop, and we'll play it today. Today we're doing it, Jackson. Today we're doing it.
Okay.
There it is.
What's the number?
All right. He's up for it.
You just use the 101 ESPN app.
Oh, that may do.
Why don't we do that on the TMA app? Can you do that on the TMA app?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
To be honest, they're a pain in the ass to download and create because they come in a different format.
Oh, is that right?
To play. That's why
On the TMA app or on 101? Or
both.
Both.
It's
right?
honestly a pain in the ass.
And you would have to edit, I'm sure.
Right. And you have
on the fly.
You have to listen to them first, and it's tough to do it while the show's going on.
Got it. There it is. That explains why we don't have mic drops.
All right. No
All right, Balloon Party's coming up next. Pepper and Jeannie's coming up next. And if you missed it, 2 hours and 30 minutes on the start and finish of what was called the Morning Grind. That is on the Tim McKernan Show podcast this week for episode 499. For the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn. I'm Tim McKernan. This closes out the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour, the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.